But like I said, I've been yapping for too long about HSR and Genshin. What are even those games? I stream fucking Amazing Grace, and that's the only game I play. Hang on. Fuck. I play visual novels. That's
Amazing Grace.
Shut up, Kyrie. That's the only thing I play. But either way, last time we fucking stop calling me scammer. You know, last time we tried to talk to Yune and she wouldn't talk to us for some reason, only to find out that she lost her voice. You know, she kind of pulled a Ariel, the Little Mermaid trick on us, and sacrificed her voice so that we could go back in time multiple times to try to save the world, and failed miserably. And now that Yune doesn't have her voice, I don't think we can go back in another time. But it's fine because all of the mysteries are coming together, right? We finally found out who was going back in time with Shu, and it was Sakuya. And then we finally found out who was painting the murals, and it was Jack. And then we finally found out who was the mastermind behind all of it, and it was the headmaster. I fucking called it as the headmaster when I realized that that Sakuya had to have eaten the apple with one other person. But you know, now I'm on the train that there's not just one person in the town that is trying to kill everyone. Because we also found out, well, it's more like Sakuya told us that she's not going to stop us. Which, I could finally chat again. Listen, Kong, I mean, I don't include those just chatting parts in the VODs because it's just me yapping. Alright? Like, sometimes I might include it. Right, like when I was talking about Amazing Grace, that one time. So yeah, I forgot to chapter it. Unfortunately, it stopped me from chatting. I mean, you know, I don't know. But now I've gone down the train that Sakuya is working with someone else, or well, maybe there it is. Twitch. What about Twitch? Twitch definitely didn't stop you from chatting. Oh, sorry. I already changed it, so... I was getting screenshots from my bot. I figured. That's why I did it myself. But, either way, enough stalling. I've already done enough of that. And, let's get into it. Shall we? And so, with another advent at an end, we're greeted once again by the dawn on Christmas morning. Oh, this is new. He's finally, well, I wouldn't say new, more like we finally see this again, I guess. We're at the top of the dorm? Tower? Yeah. I climbed to Palm Dorm's clock tower. Yeah, the clock tower on top of Palm Dorms. To get a panoramic view of the town under the clear sky. Well, I think I'm going to be using this as the thumbnail if there's no CG this VOD. The aurora rising in the distance above the endless horizon dominates the landscape as usual. This might be the last. No. This should, by all rights, be my first Christmas in this town. I need to make sure Yune and everyone else have a place where they can continue living next year and the year after that. I won't let them destroy this town. That's my mission. That's my part to play. And I've got a score to settle. Memories of my time spent here, and my friends' smiling faces flash through my mind. I can't lose. And I won't make the same mistakes again.
どうしてこんなことが起こるの？やめてよ。返してよ。私、もっとお祈りするし、頑張るから。誰が私たちの邪魔をしてるのか、これからはその誰かを見つけるためにやり直す。
Nice we get to see up here again. Yeah, it's been a while. Someone like that. Fucking... God damn it. If I had to guess, I'd say... Listen, Yune, I know you lost your voice, but you don't need to lose your voice actor too. They're your enemy. I need to know, Sakuya. Why did you do this?
バカ正直ですね。私がここでシュウ先輩に危害を加えるとかは考えないんですか？
Of course not. You'd never do something like that.
本当に先輩は。
Destiny led me to where I am now. It's finally time to settle things once and for all. Okay. It's time. Saint Aria Culture Festival is about to start. The first trumpets of the day ring out, heralding the start of Christmas. The fucking omen of death. More like. Everyone in our friend group, including myself, are exhibiting our usual pieces this time around. The only deviations are Sakuya, who isn't here, and Yune, who can't sing. A couple of my handmade Corpica dolls are on the desk to keep my display from looking too bleak. Without my doll's partner in sight, its expression seems clouded and overcast. That's what the umbrella's for. Yune, are you sure? If you're not busy, we could go for a stroll. Shake, shake. She silently shakes her head. She doesn't seem overwhelmed. She's just watching the people visiting my display with great interest. I know better than anyone how much she longs to express herself through her singing. She originally never planned on majoring in voice. I didn't even know you could major in voice, considering she's the only one who can't. Considering she's the only one who fucking tried to. But eventually, that's where she ended up. She learned that music is part of the art world. Correct. But the problem is that you can't use music if you don't know how to read sheet music. You can't play an instrument if you don't know how to read sheet. Okay. I'm not saying this correctly. You need sheet music to be able to consistently play the same thing. But you can't do that if you can't. It can't happen if you can't read it. I've seen Yune's Culture Festival performance many times. I've even helped her. And I will never forget the way she looked beaming with pride at her own success. Regardless, that won't be happening this Christmas, and the memory almost feels like a dream. Assuming we never relive this day again, this will be the Culture Festival she remembers. Sorry. She pokes me before using her fingers to pantomime devil's horns. She's quick to get on my case whenever she notices me moping. She seems more sensitive to my moods than before she lost her voice. You're saying to stop worrying so much? Nod, nod. For the love of... The original Yune would have gotten angry with me, but it's also very much in character for her to keep her true feelings tucked away. I think it would be so much easier if we knew sign language. Yeah, but it indeed would be, but at least she could draw, right? That's the only silver lining. In a town where everyone is illiterate, though that type of communication doesn't exist. Also, although it would be rude to say, the sight of Yune stumbling through, miming her thoughts to me has been pretty cute. Huh? Don't laugh. That might be hard. You're hungry? Shake, shake. He points to the clock. Ah. You're hungry, so let's get something to eat? Nod, nod. Yeah, that's the weird part. There are clocks in the town, but you can't... People in this town don't even know how to read numbers. So, like, how are they able to determine when it's... I mean, okay. I guess they are figuring it out based off the positioning of their hands. Right? I guess. I smile back, hoping the calm before the storm sticks around for a bit longer. I hear the distant second sounding of the trumpets. After enjoying a laid-back lunch, we wander through the hallway together. You're right. We've never walked around the festival together. It's a little weird. We often met in the chapel, so I could accompany her singing on the organ, but this is the first time we're enjoying the actual festival together. Plus, this version of Yune is fully aware of everything that's happened in the past thanks to me. In many ways, it's a very unique situation, and position makes sense. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's more like the only way they could read the time. So thank God they're not using digital clocks. I try to enjoy the festival like always. Well, I guess there's a CG I could use if there isn't one in this VOD. I can't do it. I can't get out of my own head no matter how hard I try. Memories of walking down this hallway with her. They cut off the trumpets and with it the fourth trumpet blast. Good luck to them if they were. This is originally where the horses broke free from the stable, sowing chaos and panic. Don't worry, I talked to the stable master earlier, told him to keep an eye out for anyone trying to cut their reins. 1 minute, 2. No matter how much time passes, the peaceful scene before us remains undisturbed. Good. Looks like nothing happened. I put an alert out, including Sakuya's photo. I wanted to make sure she couldn't get close. I feel bad about it, but what else could I do? I can't let her do whatever she wants, and as soon as I figure out her motive, I want to see her. With that said, I don't think she's going to show up, which means we should be safe. Moving on. For the first time ever, I need to snuff out every single one of her schemes.
第22回聖夜霊夜学院文化祭を終了といたします。皆さん、速やかに片付けへ移行してください。
It's 6. Sister Lily's voice echoes around us, announcing the end of the festival. Yeah, no. Look, Sister Lily, right? She can read the time. She doesn't need to. She doesn't need the hands to know how to read the time. So it isn't as weird to see her saying what the time is, even if you can still tell the. No, you can't. You cannot say what the exact time is. Fuck. I'm overthinking this. Normally this signals the start of my hypervigilance, but this time you won't hear the trumpets because...
おっす、シュートユネお疲れ。まあ本当に疲れたのは俺だけど。
Sorry, but speaking of which, how'd it go?
まあ成功なんじゃね？ラッパーなんなかったろ。
True. You didn't. Her eyes seem to shout in my direction. My eyes twinkle in response. The Saint Aria bandits are back together again. I do kind of feel bad for Yuji because he just feels like a third wheel constantly. Especially now that we're nearing the end of the game when Shu has to decide on who to date between Sakuya and Yune. Well, it's the same plan I came up with during the timeline where I was closest to Kotaha. He sure does. This scene just reinforces my theory on Guido is working with Sakuya to destroy the town, right? Because it doesn't matter how many times Sakuya could have gone back in time, right? How could she have found out that Shu hid... Okay. What I'm saying is Guido tipped her off on where the trumpets are. Or Guido just placed the fucking audio recording in his room and just put the trumpets, like, got the trumpets and put them back to where they were before. Right? That time, the trumpets were ultimately taken back, but I learned how integral their role is to the apocalypse. It's more so, how would Sakuya have been able to bring the trumpets back down so quickly, so easily, right? I took the trumpets out of the equation without the signal to begin. The aesthetics are lost. They'll do whatever it takes to preserve the Book of Revelation undertones, transforming an ordinary massacre into something biblical.
たく、いきなりマジなトーンで頼み込んでくるから何かと思ったぜ。事情も教えてくれねえしよ。
He is in a high position. Yeah, he and Kotaha are dorm managers, right? So it shouldn't be that big of a surprise if he and Kotaha are able to go into people's rooms, right? Because that's the other thing. How would Sakuya have been able to get into Shu's room other than having to scale up to his room from the balcony, right? And then how would you have been able to get the... Yeah, look, that's a better way of explaining why I think Guido was colluding with Sakuya. Not the timeline, not the time travel shit like that. Make it more easy to explain. You know, Occam's razor. I did tell you, we're stopping the second coming of the apocalypse.
だってさ、どう思うユネ？
She says I'm right.
え、本当にそう言ってんのか？
I'd already told Yuji everything, although he hadn't believed me this at the time. Which makes sense, honestly.
で、どうするよ？高野菜の時間になるけど。
Yeah. Do you mind going on ahead? There's something I have to take care of.
いいけど、なんか用事でもあんのか？
Sister Lily wanted to see me.
マジ？え、もしかしてラッパ泥棒のこと？
The burgled bugles. Nice. No, she stopped by a moment ago, so I'm sure it's unrelated.
バレたらシュウが身代わりになるって言ったんだからな。いや、俺も承知の上で引き受けてんだから罪は被るけど。
Still jumpy from hearing Sister Lily's name, Yuji returns to the atelier to clean up his display. I'm sorry, Yuji, but I can't disclose what's about to happen next. Not yet. Two hours pass. 8 arrives with no trumpets, so it's safe to assume they're still in my room. All they have left are the Brookers. Don't worry, we took care of them the day before yesterday. No, that should be all of them. We disarmed and disposed of every single one. There's no way they could plant more. Right? Granted, this never happened before. I couldn't feel safe even after having disposed of every single bomb, and even the trumpets were taken back by force following our heist. Our foe seems far more disorganized compared to every other time in the past. Well, yeah, because they're kind of working alone this time. Their response time is much slower than usual, because they don't have an informant. I'm not doing anything more than putting plans into motion that I know worked before. Warning the stable master about the horses. Silencing the trumpets so they can't act as triggers. Disposing of the bombs so they can't blow up and wreak havoc. By knowing my opponent's strategy, I can effectively counter by pulling rock against scissors. They no longer have 2 people to carry out the plan. Right. But that's the thing, though. They have more than 2 people, right? They have the adults. Unless what Sister Lily is... No, Sister Lily is also working with the headmaster to do this, right? I'm sure everything will be answered in due time. I'm confused about a lot of things. And I'm probably overthinking a lot of other things. It's easy to block when you know what the attack will be. It's simple, really. I'm also probably tunnel visioning on Guido being the second culprit. With Sakuya. But then again, fuck. And plans that never worked in the past will go off without a hitch this time around. The reason why is obvious. Sakuya isn't here. Yeah, Sakuya is the only one with time travel abilities other than Shu, which means she was able to tell the culprit, the other culprit, whoever she's colluding with, what Shu's plans are. Something like that. Knowing the future makes it child's play for me to destroy her plans, since she can't stop me. The fact of the matter is the original perpetrator, not Sakuya, didn't realize. I know everything that will happen. The only person we've identified as our enemy is Sakuya, and she said she wouldn't interfere. The original culprit's extraordinary aesthetics are vital to their plan, which means there's no way they will simply sit back and let us destroy their hard work. The only thing left is to wait and see if they'll fall for Kotaha's trap. Yeah, that's the thing. Ultimately, all of this is just to set up Kotaha's trap so that we could finally catch who did it. Probably Guido. Sure, thanks. Yuna gently hands me a piece of paper. I realize this is the first written letter I've seen since coming here. With a clear mind and firm resolve, I very slowly push open the door. We're enveloped in a solemn, almost reverent aura upon stepping foot inside. The chapel, where the devout pray to God, is an integral part of this town, providing a clear boundary between inside and outside. She stands at the end of the red carpet, just as she did the first time we met. Bro is not the final boss. Stop acting like you're the final boss.
こんばんは、シュウさん、ユネさん。
Bathed in the moonlight filtering in through the stained glass windows, Sister Lily murmurs without a hint of surprise. Good evening, Sister Lily. Thank you for answering my letter.
構いませんよ。ただ、今夜祭は出なくてよいのですか？
Not this year, but there will be other chances for you to attend in the future.
ユネさんは喉を痛めているのでしたっけ？無理はなさらずに。
She sounds perfectly normal, but I'm sure she can guess why I'm here. As we engage in this idle back and forth, it's 10 p.m. This is originally when the 7th and final trumpet sounded out, as well as the time I specified in my letter to her. There's no need to hurry. Without the trumpets, we'll be safe up here. Hearing my voice, Sister Lily turns to me, her demeanor calm and collected.
何のことでしょう？
You were about to make a run for it, weren't you? From the basement stairs to that room. The main entrance to the secret room Kyrie and I once snuck into. Rinka said she'd found it blocked off the day before, but we need to ensure we can get inside today. After all, we can't tie up loose ends on the surface.
シュウさんはそれが目的で私を呼び出したのでしょうか？
Open the fucking triptych, Sister Lily. Indeed, like I said, there's no need to run in your run to your hidey hole since we'll be safe up here.
なるほど。
She murmurs, seemingly unimpressed, as if she's managed to figure everything out.
作品は完成しなかったということでしょうか？
As long as we're here, I won't let the apocalypse destroy this town. See, like, all of the teachers are also in on it, right? I had to make the sister know that. After all, that's the whole reason why I came here in the first place. I say, my heart overflowing with determination, her piercing gaze deadly serious. We both have a clearer picture of what's going on. The time has come to lay our cards out on the table for the other to read. Sister Lily.
はい。
I take a step forward. Sister Lily, who calmly remains where she is. If I want to know the secrets that lie in her heart, there is something I need to say first. And so, I'm truly deeply sorry about this. I give a deep bow.
謝られる筋合いはなかったと思いますが、宿題でも忘れましたか？
No, but please allow me to apologize.
シュウさんの責任は何もありません。
That might be true, and yet, even I know that I didn't do anything wrong here. A part of me understands that. However, knowing Sister Lily's situation, as well as I do, I feel I'm the only one who can apologize.
それに、私たちだってシュウさんたちのことを見殺しにしようとしていました。これに関しては本当に申し開きもありません。
Back? Oh, you came back at the best part.
ですが、ある方が言っていたんです。運命は変わるものだから、彼らを信じて見守っていて。と、私はそれに従っていました。
It's possible to change fate.
ですから私たちはお互い様ですよ。お顔を上げてください、シュウさん。私に聞きたいことがあるんですよね。
Jesus Christ. No, I think Shu would be I think Shu is more like Adam than Jesus Christ. Yes, a lot of things. That's why we're here. It's now past 10, and all I'm hearing coming from outside are sounds of joyous celebration. The apocalypse will not visit the town, visit this town tonight. I finally changed the course of events.
わかりました。ユネさんもよければそこに座ってください。
A good or evil Adam? What do you mean? Talking about the situation? I know it was a joke. Sister Lily gestures for us to take a seat. She gives us the same amiable smile we're used to from class, as if to say she has no intention on running off or pulling a fast one on us.
降誕祭、聖なる夜。今日という日があなたたちにとって良き日でありますように。
Oh shit.
それでは、クリスマスの日に補習をするのもなんですが、私から最後の授業を始めましょう。
I still feel like Sister Lily would look better with glasses. What? Am I wrong in that? Oh shit, new perspective. It's 11. So enraged by the cruel demise of their perfect picture, they strut down Main Street as if trying to stamp out the ruckus from the Christmas party. They failed. Or did they? Helplessness mixed with rage wells up inside them, each burst causing them to clench their fists painfully tight. The original plan of plunging the town into chaos, the destruction triggered by the final blast of the trumpets, just like the Book of Revelation, was ruined. The horses stayed docile, the trumpets were stolen, and every single brooker was disposed of. It was as if whoever was working against them knew exactly what would happen, making their calculated response even more unnatural. But of course, things can't end like this. The date, Christmas, of this exact year had been decided 2 years prior. It's far too late to postpone the events until the following year. They take something out. Why, surprisingly enough, it's one of the Brookers Shu and his friends went to great trouble to dispose of. The bomb left in Kyrie's care, the only one remaining after the rest were destroyed on the 23rd, rests now in their hands. How did they know about it? Well, as luck would have it, this person was informed their Brookers had been taken care of by none other than Kyrie herself. Yeah, and I wonder who I wonder out of the characters that we have that have sprites, I wonder which student hasn't played a pivotal role in the plot yet. And thus they'd spent a sleepless night resetting every single bomb in their rightful place. However, the bombs never detonated. Someone who knows her. Yeah. I wonder who this could be. In an attempt at figuring out why, they tried detonating the bomb in the park once more. Piss! Only to be greeted by a tiny explosion. This is all wrong. It lacks power. There's something missing.
Yeah!
A cheerful voice calls out from that to that person, drowning in disappointment and disbelief. Oh shit! She knew. Fuck, she's hot. I mean, that voice carried on the wind seems unaffected by the fading echoes of the explosion. They turn to find the familiar figure of Kyrie standing there nonchalantly.
呼ばれたから来てやったぜ。遅れて悪いな。なんだ、不満そうだな。おかしいよな。お前のスノーブルーカは本来そんなちんけな威力じゃない。
Flashes of light, then fireworks. Dying embers suddenly vanishing. They baited the person out. I mean, this was the trap, right? I think. All that remains are flakes of powdery snow swirling in the blast wind.
確かにお前の爆弾は芸術的だった。威力も仕掛けも犠牲者さえ出なきゃ申し分ない。褒めてんだからもっと嬉しそうな顔すりゃいいのに。つってもそんな場合じゃねえか。
Kyrie continues the conversation as if nothing out of the ordinary is happening. They're into what is that word? Interlocutor, frozen, unable to grasp the situation.
まずお前の考えはこう。街中に爆弾を設置して同じ時間に起爆させて大火事を起こす。アポカリプスだったよな。あんま覚えてねえけど、ヨハネの黙示録とかいうやつ。んで、火事さえ起こせばオーロラに囲われてるんだから、あたしらに逃げ場なんかない。いや、そもそもあたしらのことなんて考えてるのかわかんねえけど。ともかく、お前は爆弾を見つからないうちに丁寧にセットして、それをぴったり起爆させるのが狙いなはずだった。
Interlocutor, a person who takes part in a dialogue or conversation. Am I even pronouncing it correctly? Kyrie looks over at them, as if to confirm that that what she's saying is correct. She takes their silence as affirmation.
けど、その後はお前も知っての通り、シュウはブルーカの場所を全部探り当てて除去した。
That was 2 days ago, on the 23rd.
その時点でお前は焦ったはずだ。自分が仕掛けた爆弾が片っ端から見つけられて、その駆除まで自分が頼まれてるんだから。実際に処理するのは私にしても、一夜であのちっこいのを全部見つけ出すなんて普通ありえねえわな。けどそこはシュウの言ってた通りらしくてよ。
He's Anna, the time traveler. That's what he referred to himself as, using it as an explanation on how he knew every bomb's location, and Kyrie believed him. From the perspective of the perpetrator, that kind of logic seems completely unfair.
そんなこんなで、イブにはもうお前の仕掛けたブルーカは全部なくなってた。取った爆弾は私が冷凍して保管してな。
That's how the original plan fell apart. In that brief period before Christmas, the bombs were disposed of with alarming speed.
だからお前は昨日今日で急ごしらえをしなくちゃならなかった。アポカリプスが今日ってのはずらせないんだろ。
The Snowbrookers should have given birth to a white hot Christmas. a unique piece born from the day itself, with the second coming of the apocalypse elevating the town and all its occupants to a new level of artistic mastery.
ともかく当初の予定を潰されたお前は残った一日でまた仕掛けを打つ必要があった。
The perpetrator's plans were destroyed, which meant the need for a quick fix.
私の倉庫からスノーブルーカを奪い返して今度はそれぞれ違う場所にセットする。それがイブのうちにできればクリスマス当日には間に合う。
And originally, the quick fix worked out. In fact, the plan had gone off without a hitch.
けどな、私たちはずっとそれを待ってたんだよ。
She then calls him by his name, her tone of voice just as light-hearted as ever.
ギド、
Ah, there it is! What the fuck? What is this aura he's emanating? In contrast to Kyrie's friendly demeanor, Guido stands there looking grim, frozen on the spot. The night breeze sweeps away the lingering awkwardness as silence settles once more on the park. Kyrie is the first to break it.
ここまで言えばもうわかるな。今お前が起爆したブルーカはダミーだよ。
The initial blast that should have gone off alongside the chorus of trumpets. Except it hadn't been a snowbrooker at all, but one of Kyrie's prop bombs, which is why it appeared to misfire.
もちろんここだけじゃない。学校のも寮のも同じもんだ。それにお前のと違って勝手に起爆したりもしない。
すり替えたと。
ちげえよ。お前昨日勝手に私の倉庫からそれ持ち出したろ。その時点でもう入れ替わってんだよ。見た目はそっくりだけど中身の火薬は全部偽物だ。でも弱いやつを少しは入れてるからちゃんと粉雪は散っただろ。
The young man, Guido, still has a look of incomprehension on his face. Mainly because there's no way Kyrie could have known he was planning on snatching her bombs right out from her nose.
勝手に人の指紋取って倉庫に入るなんて寮長のやることじゃねえだろ。
お前どうして。
酔ってたはずなのに。
What the fuck? The night before Christmas Eve, Guido had swiped the drunken Kyrie's prints. He couldn't get into Kyrie's private warehouse without them, of course. The only reason he made such a bold move is because he assumed Kyrie's judgment was impaired. Ain't no way. This guy is so fucking meticulous. Bro, he just assumed Kyrie was drunk. I get that she's an idiot sometimes, but like she's not that dumb. If Kyrie had been in her right mind, he never would have taken such a risk.
名女優キリエをなめんなよ。ただのジュース飲んで酔っ払うくらいへでもないわ。
He casually dismisses her supposed intoxication as nothing more than an act. Why?
最初からそれが目的で。
ああ、実際ギドーは油断しただろ。
And he thinks he's Bro thinks he's a chess player. He was actually playing checkers this whole time. God damn it. He wanted to lure them into a false sense of security so they'd carelessly reveal everything. So Guido was on high alert at the time for anything suspicious.
酒なんか飲んだことなかったけどよ。シュウが言うんだ。イブの日に間違えて酒を飲んだ私はやばいって。
Bro lost after making few moves. Yeah. She knew what kind of drunk she was despite the fact she never drank. Those two facts contradict themselves.
何がやばいんじゃいって怒っといたけど、後になってそれは使えると思ったんだよな。したら週に聞いて役作りや。
なるほど。俺はまんまと騙されたわけだ。
んだな。
Guido chuckles bitterly to himself, but in fact he doesn't feel an ounce of regret over what happened. Mainly due to the pure, almost overwhelming brilliance behind Kyrie's well-known acting prowess. Her confession and the fact that her stellar performance had tricked him made sense considering her desperate state at the time. His desperate state at the time.
ただ、一つわかんねえことがある。今の義堂は火使ったけど、もともとそのつもりじゃなかっただろ。いろんな場所でいっぺんに起爆させるとか。
He had originally intended on plant the Snowbrookers in various locations all around town, with them set to explode on the seventh trumpet sounded. As the seventh trumpet sounded, it was an incomprehensible mechanism to Kyrie, but Guido answers right away.
あれはブルーカに似せて作ってはいるが、お前の使うそれとは違う。もともと次元式の神官を内蔵しているんだ。とはいえ、それらの言葉を並べても理解はできまい。外の素材も取り入れていると思えばいい。凍結させてあるなら、すぐに起爆することもない。
He explains, unable to hide the hint of regret in his voice. For someone like Guido, who would have preferred to use only locally sourced materials, being forced to rely on foreign technology is slightly vexing.
外。確かによくわかんねえけど、すげえんだな。私のとは比べ物にならんくらいの威力らしいし。
Outsider help. I mean, isn't the headmaster an outsider? She answers as if admiring his work. However, as she once said, there's an air of coldness, a distinct lack of remorse of any kind.
でも、言うまでもねえけど、やめとけよ、こんなこと。私だってちょっとはビビってんだぜ。
She's clearly not lying. Her slender legs have been trembling despite the lack of breeze. Show Kyrie the video of the nuke falling on Hiroshima. That ain't no way. Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Oh, coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb. Even if that wasn't his main goal, he really was planning on slaughtering everyone, including her. Confronting someone who could do that is a lot, especially for a young girl like her.
なんとか言えよ、ギド。これ以上できることもねえだろ。
Which is also true. Kyrie always gets straight to the point, which is how she managed to corner him. The core part of Guido's plan, his previous Brookers, have been disarmed and disposed of, and the day of reckoning, Christmas, is already here. There's no chance for revenge anymore, since as part of this elaborate plan, has been revealed. No matter what he might try now, they'll do whatever it takes to stop him, which is easy considering his cards are on the table. In other words, the way things stand, it's safe to say he's been defeated. It's obvious that the entire apocalypse plan is deadlocked. Yeah, but it can't be that easy, right? However... He is a psychopath. Yeah, he got the crazy eyes. He bursts into laughter. Once again, he got the fucking red aura. Not out of resignation or an unwillingness to admit defeat, but at the sheer ridiculousness of this catastrophic turn of events. That's right. Guido had accounted for this particular worst-case scenario. Yandere or Yandere? It's obviously Yandere. Guido isn't doing this because he loves someone. He's doing this because he's a fucking psychopath. So far, yeah, he loves the head. He loves the headmaster. That's why he's doing this. That would be true Yandere shit. Kyrie still didn't understand why he was laughing. Shu briefly touched on this topic once. Guido's unyielding conviction is what makes him the man he is.
いやはや、あっぱれだ。キリエにシュウ。お前たち二人がこうも立ちはだかるとは。
His words are unexpectedly sincere. His applause carry neither admiration nor contempt. Kyrie merely watches, her gaze suspicious as he continues, a look of relief on his face.
キリエ、俺の本物のブルーカはどこにある？
The real Brookers are up your ass.
Huh?
It makes sense that she'd be confused. His question seems to contradict everything he's told her thus far.
こんなチンケなダミーじゃない。俺が作った本物の作品だよ。倉庫でないならどこか別の場所に隠したんだろう？
何言ってんだよ。なの、あっても渡すわけないだろ。
なぜだ？
Suddenly, Guido's face twists into a mask of rage, like a crumpled piece of paper. What? What a simile. His gaze, wild and bloodshot, is piercing even through his glasses.
そんなの、こっちが聞きたいわ。なぜだって。
知れたこと。アポカリプスを実行するため。
Yeah, but you've reached your time limit, Guido. It's not going to be as aesthetic as the other times.
そういうことじゃ。
Before she can finish, she realizes something. It's hard for her to believe that he means what he says, or perhaps Guido doesn't view his answer in the same way. But it sounds as if he's honestly trying to talk her into returning his bombs.
お前の命は救おう、キリエ。約束する。それならどうだ？
But I got a bad feeling, because that's how it always is. It can't always end up. It can never end easy. All right.
どうもこうも。
She answers, completely dumbfounded. It stands to reason that everything Guido says is erroneous.
この街を一つのキャンバスに見立て、それを炎と雪というインクで彩るのがアポカリプスという芸術だ。俺はその光景を描きたい。
Just like the park, Guido planned on sublimating the city itself into a work of art.
描く？絵を描きたかったのか？
Yeah, wanted to paint the town red.
無論、唯一の生存者となる俺には、その光景を描き、表現し、伝えていく義務がある。だろう？
Hang on. Interesting, right? He says sole survivor. Is he saying this? Fuck. How am I meant to interpret what he's saying? Am I reading too into it? Right? Is this just his crazy ramblings and he forgot to mention the part that Sakuya is also in on it? Or has Sakuya never been in on it? But then why would she not stop him from... Man... What a selfish sense of obligation. feeling as if his premise is flawed to begin with. She finds it hard to take his words seriously.
キリエ、お前はクローザの失楽園という絵を見たことがあるか？
Yes, I've seen Paradise Lost.
クローザの失楽園？
Kido suddenly tosses Kyrie a question. She answers honestly.
いや、知らね。つか、私が絵のこと詳しくないの知ってんだろ？
何、聞いてみただけだ。美術回廊にもない作品だからな。それと俺はお前を蔑んでいるのではないよ。むしろ褒めたたえているのだ。だからこそ急遽お前をここに呼んだ。お前なら話し合える。
Or he is planning to end her? Yeah, right? Kyrie was never the most perceptive of people, but even she can tell Guido isn't lying. In her eyes, he's telling her exactly how he feels. In that sense, he's not so different from herself.
クローザの失楽園は近代の絵画を代表する作品の一つだが、現在も作者が分かっていない。1940年頃に制作されたと思われている。
Wait, what? The artist remains unknown. It was created in the 1940s. Right. That is the interesting part, right? Because Paradise Lost is an artwork that was based off of a 1600s poem. Right? Hang on. Fucking... When was... Hang on, yeah. Paradise Lost art. Not archive. No. Okay, you've got Cross's Lost Paradise is one of the most representative works of art in works of modern art history, although the artist remains unknown. It was created in the 1940s. Interesting. Kyrie listens quietly, unsure of Guido's point. It stands to reason that she'd be unfamiliar with it, considering it wasn't displayed in the art gallery, and the artist was unknown.
俺は2年前にその絵を見た。その作品はある光景を写実的に描き出したものだった。
He continues eloquently, right? This is the funny part. You've got Paradise Lost, which is an 1800s painting that is based off of the 1600s work, but then you've got Lost Paradise, which is why I've been confused, right? Because Lost Paradise is a poem that essentially just it was essentially created as like, hey, the devil might not be as bad of a person as we made him out to be, right? So of course I would be confused because Paradise Lost is would fit very well in this game, especially since it's all about Christianity and religion and shit, right? Describing the true meaning behind the painting.
クローザというイタリアの小さな町が災害に襲われている様子だ。逃げ惑う人々、崩落する民家、それらを飲み込むようにたけり狂う大火災。週末だよ、キリエ。一夜にしてその町は滅び、戦争のごたつきも相まってか、地図からも歴史からも消された。
Despite not knowing the town's name or understanding the word war, he was still able to follow along more or less. Gito's point in the painting Cross's Lost Paradise is inspired by very real and equally tragic events.
衝撃だった。ジェリコーのメデューズ号のイカダを彷彿とさせるような、そこは幾多もの死体が転がっている楽園だった。対峙したこちらが熱を帯びてくるような炎、腐臭さえ漂ってきそうな死体、胸をかきむしりたくなるような人々のあの表情。
Right. See, here's the thing, right? He's talking about how beautiful the corpses are, and we know that one of the 3 pictures paintings, I guess, that the headmaster showed all of these students included, like, hyper-realistic corpses and some shit. So, Gito definitely picked that over the, obviously, over the other one that everyone else picked. Gito was unable to contain his excitement on remembering the piece that changed his life. The euphoria reflected in his eyes makes it seem like he's caught in a dream, which may very well be the case.
こうして目をつむれば、今もあの絵が思い出されるかのようだ。
お前はそんな絵が描きたいのかよ。
He would have picked that, which make it perfect for this plan. Exactly, right? The headmaster picked Gito because Gito was one of the only people to pick that painting or picture or whatever.
ああ、そうだ。そして描かなければならない。
But then once again, where the fuck does Sakuya fit in all of this, right? Because she is very much not like Gito. So I don't think she would have also picked the picture. Unless she picked unless she picked the other one. Because there were 3 pictures, right? I don't know. What drives him in this obsessive sense of purpose? Scribbles. That what I'm trying to think? Yeah. Wait. Fuck. The worst part is that I forgot how they described the pictures. Alright? Because, you know, just like Shu said, just like the student said, Yuji basically perfectly replicated what the pictures were. And if the quote unquote scribbles were words, right? Then one of them was just a beautiful person, right? Yeah, I think that's the one most people picked. And then the other one was like a corpse or something, right? And then Shu was like, there's some beauty in that. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck, man? But like, if it was, right, here's the thing. The mural was also described as scribbles. Right? I would have chose the scribbles, right? So, if what the first picture was words, right? Yuji would have been able to replicate it. Maybe. I'm not sure, right? Fuck. From the moment we met Soichi Watarase 2 years ago and saw his painting Cross's Lost Paradise, he became obsessed with the beauty of obsession itself. In a town where everyone is an artist, the pursuit of art is a natural and omnipresent fact of life. For a man as passionate as Gito, not only did he strive for artistic perfection, he was driven mad by it.
じゃあなんだギド、お前が街をめちゃくちゃにしようとしてたのは。
無論絵を描くため、一瞬に最高の美を捉えるためには全てをまとめて破壊する必要があった。
Speechless, Kirie watches Guido with a look of utmost contempt before sighing deeply.
そうやって私や琴音シュウがどうなってもいいってのか。
よくはない。勘違いをしないでもらいたいが、俺は今もお前たちのことが好きだよ。俺が接してきたこれまでの態度に偽りはない。お前のように芝居が得意ではないんでな。だったらなんだ。そのために作品を諦めるとでも。
Guido's right. He's never acted as anyone other than himself. Thanks to that, there's truth in his arguments, despite their ridiculous audacity.
キリエ、ここにどんな線も描ける筆とどんな色も塗れる絵の具があったとしよう。そんな時、過去のいかなる作品をも凌駕するアイディアが降りたとする。
This is a hypothetical scenario, but he's presenting it in a way that might help change Kirie's perspective.
そこで筆を折るような人物が果たして芸術家と呼べるのか。いいなだ。アーティストは常に美を創造し、ひらめきというミューズに身を任せなくてはならない。
それは。
See, this is truly psycho shit behavior, right? Because he's talking about beauty, referring to fucking corpses, right? He does not care how many people die in these explosions because it all benefits his pursuit of art. He welcomes it, right? And although Kirie doesn't necessarily agree, she still understands a little. After all, his thought process is the direct result of the town's education system. The concept of art as being sublime, transcending morality itself, is what's drilled into the students' heads since Sheik.
俺にとってこの町は大切だ。唯一無二の故郷だ。そしてお前たちもかけがえのない友人だ。だが、それが何だと言うんだ。
Death and chaos is his art style. I mean, that's why he destroyed... I mean, look. We saw the signs in his route when he destroyed his statue, alright? He likes the town. He likes its people. Such personal emotions must not be allowed to precede the mysteries of art.
キリエ、お前はまだ知らんだろうがな。オーロラの外にはこの町など取るに足らない広大な土地と膨大な人間が存在する。人類が残すべき文化的財産と思い入れはあるにせよ、たかだか数百人の命。天秤にかければ重きは決まっているというものだ。いや、むしろその命をもって永劫の価値に昇華されるのなら、誉れ高き礎とさえ言えるだろう。
His logic has long since passed the boundaries of pure narcissism. There is no doubting his sheer arrogance in so casually disregarding the lives of others, but the pursuit of art in this town is held in such heights that it's tantamount to life itself. And hidden behind his blatant insolence lies a hint of admiration. In the face of such a twisted sense of humility.
キド、お前、自分も死ぬ気じゃねえだろうな。
当然だ。今後の俺の人生においてアポカリプスを超える作品が生み出せるとは思わん。逃げ場もないことだしな。
Okay. Okay. What? So he... I mean, it makes sense why he's so disorganized this time, because not even the teachers are helping him out. He painted then end himself. Right, no, he is going to kill himself as well in the explosion, which means he doesn't know that the teachers will be safe. Right? He doesn't know there's an escape route, but Sakuya does. So then what the fuck are his ties with the headmaster and Sakuya? What the fuck is hence him espousing maybe more than anyone this concept of sublimating life into something which holds eternal value. He truly believes that humans can only attain true beauty by locking up their very limited lives in timeless works of art. Okay.
そんなんでみんなが納得するとでも思ってんのかよ。
思わない。だが
Sakuya is stuck in the middle. The whole time he was given no info. Yeah. I played this VN, so I'm keeping it vague. I know. Fuck you. He briefly closes his eyes in thought before speaking softly to Kyrie once more.
キリエ、お前は違う。お前だけは別だ。お前なら俺の美を理解してくれると信じている。
Look, Kyrie loves destruction as much as the next guy, but she's not a murderer. There is not even a hint of lie in his smile. Hint of a lie in his smile. He believes that this young girl, more than anyone, will understand his values and ideals.
話し合えるから呼んだと言っただろう。今になって言うのもなんだが、お前の趣味には常にシンパシーを感じていたよ。
趣味？
破壊衝動さ。形ある美しいものほどより美しく壊したい。実によくわかる。
Kido, I don't think you understand. Kyrie loves destruction, but she also wants people to witness it. Right? She does not want people to experience it firsthand. That's why she makes fucking movies. Kido and Kyrie, the thing they have in common is their pursuit for beauty hidden within the act of destruction. What do you consider beautiful? A question every resident in this town is familiar with. But Kido has the answer.
美とは破壊。それが俺の美学だ。お前もだろ。
She doesn't answer. By simply agreeing with him, she would also be agreeing with his desire for mass destruction. She wants people to see it, not be in it. Exactly. That's why she uses fake bombs. Right? She doesn't want her actors to be actually fucking caught up in the explosion and dying. Alright?
悩まなくていい。ただシンプルに価値観が似ているというだけだ。美学は誰しも持つものだしな。俺はお前に会った時から気の合うやつだと思っていた。
Indeed, the two originally met when Kyrie first started at St. Ario 2 years ago. Right around the time he was finally finalizing his vision of the apocalypse.
なかなかに衝撃だったよ。惚れるかと思ったほどだ。
最初に会った時。
俺がお前に失敗作をやった時のことだ。
Oh, wait.
最初に会った時。なんだっけ？
Okay.
なあ、ギドウ先輩。その作ったやつってもしかしていらないのか？
ん？ああ、いらん。欲しいのか？
欲しい。つか、撮影に使いたくてさ。
撮影。そういえば、キリエは映画を専攻しているんだったか。どうせ捨てるものだ。好きに使えばいい。やっ それを何に使うかと思えば、まさか爆破目的とはな。さすがに面食らった。
Yeah, but she blew up an art piece that you would have that was fucking unusable. You're trying to blow up a fucking town with people in it.
ありゃ若気の至りでな。今の私ならちゃんと義堂に許可取るぜ。ぶっ壊すけどいいかって。
それなら俺はいくらでも許可を出そう。失敗作とも言わん。俺の手がけた作品でよければいくらでも。ただし美しく壊さなくては意味がないだろう。
それが義堂の破壊の美学か。
そう。お前もたびたびそう語っていただろう。
He did say he gave her pieces of artwork. I mean, we saw that flashback before, right? Carrie would adore fireworks. Yeah. The aesthetics of destruction, Carrie very openly believed in it. It's why she holds such an obsession for explosion scenes in her movies, leading to Shu and Yuji's misery. Yeah, but unlike Guido, Shu and Yuji aren't fucking dead.
お前も俺と同じならわかるはずだ。散る花びらが、砕けるガラスが、失われゆく命が、いかに儚く美しいかを。
Aesthetics is the study of the search for what one views as beauty itself. In this town, built through the Grand Tour project, the students are taught to pursue their art above all else. Therefore, if we define art as something we consider beautiful, then the philosophy of beauty is synonymous with the act of creation. Kido, a young man, fell in love with the corrupt beauty found in Paradise Lost, giving birth to his own aesthetic sense. And he states Kyrie shares the same belief of finding beauty in destruction.
あるいは、お前はまだ己の美学を信じきれてないのかもしれん。だがそれは大きな誤りだ。
誤り？
破壊と創造は相反するもののようで、実は紙一重の関係だ。表裏一体と言ってもいい。本来価値を失わせる行為であるはずの破壊が、しかしそれゆえに儚さという刹那の美を描き出す。それはママあった美よりさらに純度の高いものだ。
Dadaism. I think that's how you pronounce it. At its finest, a revolutionary concept nurtured worldwide since the previous century. Finding beauty in destruction is more like coping at an instinctual level for most, right? What?
美しさなんてのは定義できるもんじゃねえだろ。
Hang on. It's far from unique. It's an art that should be developed further.
それもまたしかりだ。美は人の数だけ存在し、同じ数だけ美学がある。だが、俺が正しいと思うことは勝手だ。10人トイレに逃げるようなものは哲学と呼べん。己を優れた芸術家だと思うのなら、なおさらな。
And Arya's students study creation alongside aesthetics. What is beauty? What do you consider beautiful? The question is set forth in each student, although there is no correct answer.
お前にとっての美とは何だ、キリエ。
To this young man, beauty is symbolized by the act of destruction. Here's the thing, right? The teachers know Guido is going to do this, right? That's how they know the quote-unquote apocalypse is coming. But they aren't actually working with them, right? God damn it. Although he saw them similar in that regard, what is her actual answer?
自由でいること。
ほう。
Like searching for the light in the darkness in a way. But that's not coping. That's hope. That's hopium. That's not copium, that's hopium. Carrier had said that word to Shu once before, although it was in another timeline. An American answer. Keikona. As far as moral codes go, this aesthetic of hers dictates her behavior more than simple ethics.
外のことを考えちゃいけないとか、礼拝には出なくちゃいけないとか、縛られた表現ってのがあまり好きじゃないんだよな。
しかし、それは表現なのか？
私にとってはな、こうやって生きて、動いて、喋ってるだけでも、人は何かを表現し続けてると思ってる。
The Carrier aesthetics has nothing to do with whether a piece is or isn't a work of art. It's about living and learning in a way that suits you best. That's what makes people beautiful, and it is then reflected in the work they create.
しかし、そうであるなら、何かをしてはいけないという倫理がない。
Therefore, power of destruction and creation are equivalent. It seems like they're just letting him do this while they hide. Yeah, right? It's like all of the teachers plus the headmaster know that he wants to do this. Stalkia is in this, is in on this in some way or another, right? But she doesn't want the people to die. Just like Guido. Man. If that's the case, then Guido assumes this must be the reason behind her desire to turn destruction into art.
面白い。好ましく思う。やはりお前はいい。
The headmaster's more just enabling Guido. After coming this far, Guido feels overwhelming sympathy for Kyrie, who harbors no unnecessary emotions. This conversation would be far more difficult with someone like Yune or Kotaha.
お前の考え、そしてお前がこれまでに撮ってきた映画や行為を尊重した上で問おう。一度でも考えたことはないか？
Teacher's pet? Listen, I don't think he's a teacher's pet, considering he wants the teachers to die as well.
何がだ？
Unless he also knows that the teachers are going to hide away in a safe room, essentially. Headmaster's pet, yeah.
この町にもいつか終わりが来るんじゃないかということをだ。それが大洪水でも神の裁きでも構わない。101年前に外で起きたことが町にも降りかからない保証はないと考えたことは？
全くないとは言わねえけど。
終末思想は聖書にもたびたび登場する至って普遍的な概念だ。お前の作る映画ももちろん、物事には必ず終わりが存在する。
The wrath of God laying waste to the earth itself. This is the final judgment so notoriously decreed.
だが宇宙の終わりを無双するのは難しい。人類にとって観測できるものではない。
宇宙？
この町の外に広がっている途方もなく広大な空間と思えばいい。
Kyrie, who doesn't even know that countries exist outside the Aurora, the concept of space is unfathomable. Regardless, Guido continues speaking.
だがこの町はどうだ？まるで一つの宇宙のように、町そのものが単一の世界として完成している。
A world cut off completely from the outside. According to Guido, the town is equivalent to a universe and complete ecosystem.
中にいる者には気づけないが、この町を町として保つのには多大な労力が必要だ。
The Aurora is what separates the town from the outside, both physically and culturally. The inhabitants don't question anything about the town they live in, simply accepting things for what they are. It's an extremely pragmatic way of living, similar to the ancient Greeks. Headmaster probably wants the place destroyed and silenced. Isn't Headmaster the head of the town? I don't remember. Probably considering how power he seems to have. This is very complicated, and we need Sakuya and the Headmaster to clarify a few things. Just like with the evolution of the human body, all things contained with the Aurora are viewed as being created by God. And since God's actions are irrefutable, then no one would dare to think about questioning who built the school or who invented radios. Not in this town, at least.
今いまし、昔いまし、後、来たりたもう主なる全能の神。ヨハネの黙示録が語るように、この町に住む人間は神を無常の原因として捉えるよう教育されている。
The Grand Tour project dictated that engineering and architecture should be omitted. In order to prioritize art above technological advancement, they decided there was no point in having the people here worry needlessly about infrastructure.
だが、そんな演出のおかげもあってか、この町はアルファとオメガを併せ持つ世界としてきれいに確立した。
An ethos that valued unconditional belief. A religious view that forbids any interest in the outside.
そんな単一の世界の終わり。それを除き、キャンバスに描くのは芸術家としての使命だと思わないか。
He doesn't answer. It'll get simplified soon. Thanks. Fuck. Guido's argument is so literal that there's someone like Kyrie who can't even match sounds to written characters. It's almost completely incomprehensible. Did it skip again? Even so, she intuitively realizes how difficult it is to argue with his logic. As an artist raised in a town where certain values are embraced and lauded, it's a legitimately natural, albeit extreme conclusion to arrive at.
察するに、お前はまだお前に横たわっている真の美に気づいていないだけなのだ。だから破壊衝動を半端な形で再現しようとする。
In your opinion, what is the most likely way the world will end? Or the extinction of humanity, or the downfall of all civilization? Okay, to be fair, to be honest, I don't think humanity will ever go extinct, right? We will have the possibility of mass destruction, right, is very much possible. I said it possible twice, right? But humans are like fucking cockroaches, man. We will never face total human extinction because, right? There are always there are always those few hundreds, thousands of people who will survive mostly anything, right? And then, if World War III happens, right? Like, sure, billions may die, right? But there are those thousands that survive, and then they will repopulate the world, and then, like, however many years down the line, we'll be back up to 8 billion people, or so on and so forth. Right? Those bunkers. Yeah, exactly. Right? Humans are like fucking cockroaches, and the only time humanity will be destroyed is when we run out of resources as we float through the vastness of space, trying to find the last bit of land after everything has been sucked up by black holes. So, you know, take it about 1 trillion years. In Kyrie's case, she channels her immature ideas into explosion scenes in her films. But according to Guido, in order to create ultimate beauty, one must destroy something of equal value. Or aliens, if they exist. Right. If aliens exist, good luck.
俺たちが真に破壊すべき。それはこの世界。この街で生きてきた俺たちにしか成し得ない究極の芸術がすぐそこにあるんだ。
He speaks in his own ambitions. Black hole will end us all. Well, yeah, that's the other thing, right? If we do not evolve fast enough before either a black hole reaches our solar system or like the sun expands to the point where Earth is unlivable and uninhabitable, right? Then we'll all go extinct, right? But if that doesn't happen, we'll live forever. Humanity, I guess. Perhaps this was the eventual end for a young boy predestined to live as an artist forever.
俺は絵を描くが、キリエ。お前にならその破壊を克明に記録することができるはずだ。それはきっとこの世のどこにもない映像美だぞ。
Okay, I probably shouldn't say this, and I'm gonna get cancelled for this. So, Hitler, you know, but before he became a fascist, he was an artist. Fucking, what am I talking about, bro? Yeah, he was an artist, right? And you know what? I'm not gonna keep going. You can interpret what I was about to say from fucking Guido, all right? He tries to bring Kyrie to his side by praising her method of expression. Time to report you to the CIA. Listen, Hitler found beauty in destruction, just like Guido. And what's the greatest form of destruction other than a genocide? Never, fucking, I'm cancelled. All he can see is a vision of the town consumed by fire. Don't put an artist in charge of power. Don't put someone like Guido in power, alright? Because if this is what he can do to a small town in the Aurora, imagine what he could do if he was the president of a country.
俺たち、この人類史におけるメシアとなるんだ。
I heard that you can't say the name Hitler on YouTube. You have to say something like Mustache Man. As he gives praise to his own sublime ideals, he extends a hand toward Kyrie, his personal savior. Faced with this question, she finally says, "You're a fucking idiot, Guido."
最初の町はイタリア南部、クローザという場所に生まれました。
Back to
これ
Lily.
が1941年の出来事。当時はまだグランドツアー計画に着手して間もない段階だったため、実験的な意味合いが強かったようです。
Sister Lily begins explaining the details of the Grand Tour project, starting from the beginning. The lecture is meant as a way to bridge an information gap, to shed some light for Yune, who is completely in the dark.
ユネさん、なんと
She wants to know what the Grand Tour project is.
失礼しました。グランドツアー計画とは、一言で述べれば、古典芸術を生み出すためのプロジェクトです。
Yune still doesn't quite understand, which is understandable. Sister Lily continues.
この名称はもともと、17世紀頃、イギリスの貴族たちが、その子供をイタリアなどへ留学させていた風潮、グランドツアーを模して付けられたものです。グランドツアーは単なる留学、旅行ではなく、その国で歴史ある文化を学ぶのが主なる目的でした。
If someone likes glasses on girls, they would love it if Sister Lily had glasses. That's not what I was referring to. I'm just saying, Sister Lily just feels like she would look better with glasses on. Alright, it's not because I like glasses. Even if I do, just...
そのため、ローマやフィレンツェなどに多くの若者が送られたといいます。
In other words, it was like a glorified school trip for wealthy children of the upper crust. As the birthplace of the Renaissance and ancient Rome, Italy was the perfect place for a cultural exchange.
そして、そんな名前を冠したグランドツアー計画は、今から80年ほど前にイタリアで発足されたプロジェクトです。
I hate glasses considering I have to wear them a lot, so thank God she doesn't have them. So then, thank God, the only person who wears glasses is a villain.
当時のイタリアは、ムッソリーニによるファシズムが台頭していた時期ですが、今そういう事情が省きましょう。
You cannot use Mussolini. I just referenced World War II, bro. That's me. That's me. The barrage of unfamiliar words leaves Yune with more questions than answers. It's impossible to expect her to be able to grasp the situation of a country decades ago, when her only knowledge of history is through paintings.
イタリア、ドイツ、そして日本。
Fuck
そ
off,
れぞれの代表者の発起人となり、立案されたのがグランドツアー計画です。
I think they do mention Hitler directly. God fucking damn it. You know, as soon as I saw 1940s, I should have realized they're gonna reference fucking World War II.
イタリアからはレオナルド・ベルトーニ、ドイツからはウォルフガング・ハート、そして日本からは渡瀬紀章。彼らの目的は共通していました。
Oh, there's Watarase again. So I guess Kisho Watarase is Shuichi's grandparent? I don't know if it's grandmother or grandfather, so... The purpose of this project, as mentioned before, was to create a new classical art form. In other words, it was an assertive attempt at neoclassicism, and the plan was carried out in secret with no regard for international affairs. Yune mouths the name, clearly emphasizing each syllable. Watarase.
はい。ただ、ユネさんもお会いしたことのある渡瀬氏とは異なる方です。
They're talking about World War II. God damn it. Yeah.
渡瀬紀章は、我が校の学長である渡瀬宗一氏の祖父にあたり、1987年に没しています。
Okay, it's granddad. In other words, St. Aria Academy's principal is the grandson of one of the men who started the Grand Tour project. But if that's the case, what? Shuichi isn't that old, right? Maybe. Soichi, I mean, is probably around like his 40s, right? Or maybe 50s.
では、そんな三国の代表者が唱えたかったものとは何か。
Sister Lily directs the question toward Yune, as if pointing her out during class.
さて、ユネさん。例えば今、あなたは長椅子に座っていますね。
Nod, nod. That what we are heading to. They are talking about the upcoming World War III. Ain't no way.
その長椅子は芸術でしょうか？
Shake, shake. She answers negatively, as most people likely would. The bench we're sitting on is a simple piece of furniture, with no unique features, no different from any other chair or bench found in the chapel. However,
ではその椅子に名前がついていたとしたらどうでしょう？
no, I'd call you a crazy person if you named a fucking bench.
例えば、そうですね。世界を支えるものなんていかがでしょう？
She came up with the name on the spot, and it bears no real significance. But what if it did?
その時、その椅子は芸術、一つの作品と呼べるでしょうか？
This bench is called my chair. Yeah, the chair I'm sitting on is called office chair number 1. Office chair 10. This time, she takes a minute to think it over. Shake, shake. As expected, she arrives at the same conclusion.
なるほど。しかし、なぜでしょう？絵にタイトルをつけるのと何も変わらないはずですが。
Yeah, the difference between a bench and a painting is that the painting is unique. What do you mean? The the painting is a unique artwork that you will not see anywhere else unless you have replicated it. All right, that fucking bench, you'll see it anywhere. You could technically duplicate. Yeah. She seems to be saying the chair wasn't made with that purpose in mind.
わかりました。私もユネさんの考えが間違っているとは言いません。
However, Sister Lily continues. This is exactly what led to the birth of the Grand Tour project.
ただの既製品に制作者でもない個人がただ名前をつけただけのもの。それを芸術と呼べてしまうのがオーロラの外の世界なのですよ。
What? Yune seems shocked by this revelation. For an until now, solid foundation of a familiar subject like art to be shaken. Oh, okay, yeah. It just sounded weird. For an until now solid foundation of a familiar subject like art to be shaken in such a way is more earth-shattering than any unknown object or creature.
レディメイドという概念。これを生み出したアーティストの名は、シュウさん、ご存知ですよね。
Marcel Duchamp.
正解です。ユネさんには馴染みのない名前かと存じますが、彼は近代において最も偉大と称されることもある芸術家です。
Painting purpose is for that when that bench is for sitting. Yeah. A painting's purpose is only to be, how do I say this? The purpose of a painting is to be viewed as an art piece. The purpose of a bench is to be used for sitting so you can stare at it without having to hurt your legs.
レディーメイドとは日本語に直せば既製品です。デュシャンはただのトイレにサインしたものを 一つの作品として発表しました。
Well, the wheel could be considered a technological work of art. Yeah, the first wheel, but not the 100th, right? That's what history museums are for, right? That's literally what history museums are for. You go into a history museum and you see all of this shit, right? And it's art, right? Is it not? Would it not be considered art? It has value to it besides what it is. Oh, how am I going to say this? It's hard to explain without the right words. I cannot put the right words together. Sentimental, right? It's more than that though, because sentimental implies it implies a value that is unique to a person. Say, oh fuck. It sentimental kind of works, right? God damn it. God fuck you, Sister Lily. Stop making me overthink things.
そんなものは作品じゃないって思いますよね。事実ドゥシャンの泉は出展を拒否されました。
Oh, now I remember the name. Duchamp is the fucking guy who Duchamp's the guy who stuck a banana to a wall, right? Hang on. Or is that another guy? Duchamp. No. Marcel Duchamp is the one who signed a fucking urinal, right? Hang on. What's the fuck? Yeah, no, hang on. I'm trying to get a good picture. Get a picture, I guess. But hang on. I understand where she's coming from, right? Because of this. Where is it? Let me... I'm scared. It's fine. It's nothing to be afraid of. This fucking art. Marcel Duchamp is a piece of shit. Bruh, yeah. But, you know, going back, Dexter, right? Going back to what you said before about a wheel, right? Guess what? He just... Hang on, I need to get the art piece then. Destroy it now. Right? Speaking of the wheel, right? God damn it, where is it? He did it. He did that. All right. He displayed the fucking bicycle wheel as a piece of art. Why am I down here? The wheel was a significant invention in human history. This guy. Look, all I'm saying is that he wanted to be different. And he was the first guy to display a urinal as a piece of art. Alright? but hang on. Here's the other one I was referencing, right? Hang on. I'm going to display a human as a work of art. This was the other one I was referencing. Jesus Christ! It had. Why is it so big? This is a piece of art. This was displayed. God damn it! What's the? I need to remember what. Not the banana. Yeah, I need to remember what. Yeah, this fucking banana sold for like 120,000. Right? So, you know, I'm not saying that the bench she's referring to would not be. I'm not saying that the bench she's referring to can't be considered a work of art, but the people who do consider it a work of art need to be checked up on. I should be an artist. God damn it, man. This is why the art world is fucked. Because of shit like that. I appreciate benches. Fountain. These ready-mades created by Marcel Duchamp 101 years ago directly challenged the conventional wisdom of what was and wasn't considered art.
何せ本当にただの小便器ですから。偽名のサインがなされていただけの何の変哲もない既製品。手間も努力もあったものではありません。
Yeah, and that's as soon as Duchamp was considered an artist because because he signed a urinal. That's when the art world was ruined. All right.
ですが、それこそが現代アートの始まり。世界すべてに芸術を吐き出したパンドラの箱だったのです。
Calling it Pandora's box is very appropriate because, god damn it, the use of Pandora's box as an analogy seems especially fitting considering the sudden devaluation in art that immediately followed. This game understands. This game. You know what? This game is a 10 out of 10. Even someone as ignorant as myself studied up on the Grand Tour project before I arrived here.
トイレを美しいものだと？いえいえ、それはないでしょう。ドゥシャンはあくまで伝えたかっただけなのですよ。
For anime lollies, yes. This, okay, so what you're telling me, game, what this game is basically doing, the entire point of the Aurora is to bring back classical art, right? And not any of this modernist bullshit with fucking bananas and urinals.
芸術とは美しいものとは限らないと。
Well, yeah, we already have we know two people who we know two people who see who see fucking destruction as beautiful, right? It brings into question the basic assumption people have made about art since the dawn of time. Compared to aesthetics, which philosophized about the essence of art itself, this was an unprecedented attempt at saying beauty isn't a requirement for art. I mean, look, that's true. Beauty is not a requirement for art, right? But like, I don't think a piece of art I don't think something that you can piss in be considered a piece of art. More like a piss of art. All right. Do all outsiders share that viewpoint? Well, not everyone, but for modern art, yes. In fact, many contemporary works that exist outside the Aurora are far from being even remotely beautiful. Or eat. In fact, I've seen plenty of nonsensical pieces similar to the ready-mades, like a tangled mess of shoelaces or gears floating in a water tank. Yeah, but that's more creative than a fucking urinal, alright? When it comes to modern art, it seems like everything goes. One might say it's the ultimate expression of freedom. I went to a modern art museum once just to check it out, and I remember seeing a pair of glasses on the floor. No one around. Assuming someone had dropped them, I went to pick them up and look for the owner. It might have been a few months before I came here. One of the security guards stopped me. He told me to not touch the art installation. Holy shit. Look. The only reason Shu mistook it for someone's belongings is mostly, I can guarantee it is because it was not displayed on like a stand, right? At least, hang on, god damn it, I'm gonna show it again. Glasses on the floor is art. Yeah, no, look, at least this piece of shit was on a stand, right? This shit had something to stand on. What? This shit was not on the floor, all right? Unlike those glasses. This piece of piss. Sorry. You can't shit in a urinal. I mean, you can, but... Yep. Just a pair of glasses. It was a pair of plain, ordinary glasses with no adornments of any kind. Just sitting there as if someone had abandoned them. And yet, it was actually the work of a single artist. I think they just lost their glasses. that artist lost their glasses and then was like, I could make an art piece out of this. Oh no, I don't understand it either. You know as well as I do how awful are my artistic sense is. I wanted to do some prep work before I got here though.
納得のいかなそうな表情をしていますね。ですがその感性もまた正しいものです。
Sister Lily, you cannot tell me you are going to defend these fucking shit artists. I'm losing hope in humanity. Actually, it has already lost. It needs to be a balance. Okay. Okay, Thanos. Of course, each piece is made with a message in mind. That's the basics of how art works. I understand that there was a message. There is a message behind why Marcel Duchamp used a urinal as a piece of art. But because he did that, it has evolved into a banana taped to a wall and sold for $120,000. Alright? And it should have never happened. Alright? I'm just gonna say it. The more absurd, extravagant, or nonsensical pieces, the bigger the impact on the viewer.
デュシャンの登場で芸術の定義は爆発的に広がり、より先鋭的で革新的な作品が数多く生み出されるものだと期待されていました。
My grandfather used to say everything in moderation. Correct. Right? It's gone too far. Right? A urinal on a stand with a fucking signature on it, right? There's a message behind it. You know? A banana taped to a wall? What How is it sold for 100? Give me 120,000. I want the
実際はそううまくは回りませんでした。
Allowing art to be defined in such broad strokes only led to the collapse of art itself. See, this game understands the absurdity of it.
現代アートへの歩みは決して間違ったものではありませんでした。むしろ問題なのは飛躍的に進化しすぎてしまったことです。
Feminism. Okay. Humanity has been in a state of flux from the ancient Greeks and Romans to the Gothic era, the Renaissance, and then Romanticism. And modern art is vastly more diverse than any other art period throughout human history that led to its creation. While it seemed like a remarkable step forward, the sheer enormity of this new landscape left people groping through the dark. It was simply too big. With only a very thin line separating art from non-art, art standards shifted from talent and technique to taste and sense.
ルシャンを除いても、フォービスムやピカソの存在によって芸術のあり方は徐々に壊されつつありました。それもまた事実。
That's the problem. It went from objective values like skill and technique to very subjective values. Right? Like taste and sense. Jesus. Talent and technique. I said skills.
しかし、1917年に発表された泉は、あまりにも劇的に枠組みを変えてしまいました。美術史において最大とも言えるパラダイムシフト。それを受け入れたが最後、芸術は何でもありの分野となってしまいます。もはや規定することさえ誰にもできない。グランドツアーを支持する3人はそれを世界の終わり、アポカリプスと称しました。
Okay, you didn't need to go that extreme, alright? The door that had barely been wider than the mouth of a bottle had been forced almost immeasurably wide open. For those who considered true art to be built from inflexible rules and through harsh discipline, it would seem like the apocalypse of the art world.
先ほど私が椅子に名付けて作品と呼んだのもそう。現代は何もが芸術作品になりうる時代。
As long as the object and it doesn't always have to be tangible, touches people in some way, this is then it's considered a work of art, and the creator an artist. I mean, yeah, I would consider like 5-hour video essays a work of art in some way. This is an era when anyone can be Van Gogh, or so Sister Lily says.
そして、だから、この街にそんな作品はないのです。美術回廊のどこを探しても。グランドツアー計画の立案者である3人は、そんな美しくない芸術が許せなかったのですよ。
The line between art and non-art is very thin, which means if you want order in your artwork, then you need to create your own line. And that line became the Aurora.
この街は、ルシャン以前、101年以上前の古き良き文化的価値観だけで構成された教会なのです。
That is how this town came to be. They set the stage for the creation of classical art otherwise impossible in today's society. It's a modern take on a revival of neoclassicism, which explains why the town is built around the St. Aurea Academy. So that's why no one's heard of Picasso in this town.
はい。彼がアビニョンの娘たちから創始したキュビスムは、言うまでもなく影響力の強すぎる劇薬です。
Yeah, but Picasso is Picasso is considered more of an artist than Marcel Duchamp, alright?
多くのものは、 その並外れた表現に悪しき評価を下すでしょうが、それでも一部の生徒たちはその表現の力強さに気づいてしまうかもしれない。聖アレイア学院にはそれだけの才ある子たちが揃っているのですから。そうすればこの町にある芸術だけでは飽き足らない新たな表現を模索することになるでしょう。
Thus, and let me introduce myself. Guido walks into the fucking chapel.
だからそれはこの町で決して開けてはならないパンドラの箱なんです。ピカソを野蛮で幼稚で落書きだと言えるトラディショナルなセンスがこの町のアーティストに求められた素養でした。
No, Banksy's art is graffiti, alright? Picasso did not go that far. Alright, at least he kept it to a canvas.
故にピカソなんて見せられない。見せてしまえば取りつかれるかもしれないのですから。とりわけグランドツアー計画はルネサンス期への回帰を理想としています。そのためにここはフィレンツェの街並みを模して作られているのです。
Yeah, but okay. She's saying all of this shit, right? But it still doesn't it doesn't explain why people aren't allowed to learn how to read, right? Because newsflash, Sister Lily, music is also an art form, and you can't have music without being able to read. Somehow Yune got away with being able to sing consistently without needing to read fucking sheet music and some shit like that, right? But at the same time, she's not a singer. That's why fucking Shu and Sister Lily are the only people who can use the organ, right? Because they are required to read the sheet music that no one else can read other than other teachers. But they don't know how to play the piano.
そしてこの町の教育もそれら古典芸術を最高の価値と定めて行われています。
The most crucial element is the atmosphere. It rejects the outside world while providing a compelling ideology of its own. Students never questioning anything about the town they live in is proof of its success. Like I've said before, and that everyone in the outside world studies art. Obviously, everyone in this town studies and strives to make classical art. The only difference lies in their majors. Naturally, considering the circumstances of the town's creation. Just like I never questioned the need to study Japanese science or math in the outside world, this town views the study of art as a basic subject. It might be fair to view the town as some kind of giant art institute.
教会壁を敷き、専用の教育を行う。そうしない限り、かつての芸術への回帰、グランドツアーはなされないと考えられました。
Is it really necessary to censor art? Sister Lily is the extreme part on the other side of the spectrum. She had the ability, Watarase's granddad had the ability to create the extreme, right? Sister Lily's analogy of modern art making anyone Van Gogh doesn't actually work. With the definition of art being so broad now, do people even view Van Gogh's impressionist paintings in the same light as before? Yes, people still respect Van Gogh, even if they are people still respect Van Gogh's art, even if they prefer Duchamps, right? Or maybe they don't. You know, maybe Sister Lily has a point. She asks if the paintings we praise here are seen as worthless garbage outside.
いえいえ、そんなことはありません。今まで教えてきたように、そしてユネさんが感じたように、過去の偉大な作品は外でもたがわず偉大です。
But where does the girl who jumped through time fit in all of this? Where does Anna fit in all of this, Sister Lily? The walls of the gallery are covered with pieces, including a few replicas that must never leave the premises. It isn't a part of the town's core education.
外の文化的潮流を遮断するためにオーロラはあります。
Also, I mean, it's also a part of the town's core education.
私たちは生徒がどんな作品を制作するかについて指示したりはしませんが、その環境づくりは徹底します。それが私たち教師の仕事なので。
The professors at the St. Aria Academy do more than simply lecture on art. They introduce words into their unwritten lexicon, read aloud from the Bible, and verbally explain the works displayed in the gallery. They do this in order to instill ideology adapted from the outside world into kids like Yune, who wouldn't otherwise learn these things naturally. The teachers are like curators of culture. That is their main purpose in this town. And Rinka?
ああ、そうですね。リンカさんはただ一人の例外でした。
Trump's wall. Yeah, Trump's wall is a piece of art as well. Ow.
グランドツアー計画が遮断すべき美しくない芸術という概念。それをおのずから編み出した方ですから。
Are you the headmaster? Trump's wall is a piece of art, and that is why I am voting for him in the 2024 presidential election. I'm kidding. I'm not American.
いや、成績で言えば私の方が良かったよ。ただ、それはあくまで私がお行儀のいい絵を描いていただけだ。凛花のような既存の枠組みを壊す作品は未だに作れていない。あれを芸術と呼ぶかどうかはわからないけどね。
I skipped a bit too fast. What was her major?
私と同じ油彩画だったんだけど、そのうちいろんなものに手を出し始めてね。
Yeah, Rinka was a problem child because she was going down the path of like Picasso and shit like that, right? And Sister Lily was like, hang on, we can't let we can't let that happen here.
そのうち彼女の絵はキャンバスさえ飛び越えるようになった。
While Kotaha viewed her work as genius, the teachers didn't feel the same way. In fact, her work went against everything the town stood for.
その上、リンカさんは外へもただならぬ興味を抱いていました。彼女こそこの町の枠組みに収まらない存在の最たる例でした。
I'm from the USA and I don't even know if Trump's wall was actually built. Trump's wall was not built. Alright. The only thing separating the USA and Mexico other than the border control is a fence. And everyone knows that Mexico just goes in through the fucking airports. Alright. They don't even smuggle themselves in through fucking border security and shit like that, right? They just use a plane, you know, like everyone else. So that's why you dosed her with Muse.
一度目はそうですね。もともとあれは外に出ようとするこの衝動を強引に止めるため開発された薬ですから。
Muse, a drug that causes amnesia in those who take it and induces hallucinations as a side effect.
ただ、1年経って彼女はやはり地下への侵入を試みていたので、これはもう外に出すしかないと判断しました。
Thus leading to her disappearance on Christmas of last year. And in keeping with the legend of Bad Santa, no trace of her remained. Mainly because they didn't want anyone catching wind of what happened. Are you acting under the orders of someone else, Sister Lily?
良い着眼点です。はいと答えます。ですが、逐次誰かの判断を仰いでいたかというと、そうではないですね。
That was a dumb question to ask you. Of course, obviously she's working under someone else. That's why she's a teacher. She's not the principal like fucking Watarase. Sister Lily is a teacher, and as such, she must make sure the atmosphere here in town is flawless. The town is governed under the direction of a single man, following an abstract created for the Grand Tour project 80 years ago.
先ほどもお話ししましたよね。我が校の学長。
I can tell a clear image of that man flash before Yune's eyes. And she once again mouths this man's name, Watarase, as if muttering to herself.
はい。この町をどういった環境に置くかは、聖アレア学院学長、渡良瀬総一氏によって定められています。
So they drugged her to forget, but when that didn't work, they kicked her out. Yeah.
先ほども述べたように、学長はグランドツアー計画の発起人となった日本人、渡良瀬紀章氏の実の孫にあたる方です。ですので、皆さんが渡良瀬と呼ばれている方、その人ですね。ユネさんもお会いした。
I remember the time Kiria referred to him as an old geezer. It seems Sister Lily and the other teachers are the ones who actually manage the town's affairs. The principal supports them from the outside. But that would mean the town had existed since Kisho was alive, which isn't true.
はじめの話に戻しましょう。最初の町はイタリア南部、クローザという場所に生まれたと言いましたよね。
The phrase first town plants a seed in Yune's mind. Interesting. That's right. This town is the Grand Tour Project's third attempt. Really interesting.
一つ目はクローザ。そして二つ目はドイツのフォークトラントという場所に造営されました。
Yeah, it's just a little, calm down a bit. You kind of... God damn it. And after, like... Actually, it's been a whole 2 hours since the fucking audio started shitting itself. Well, it took 2 hours for the audio to start shitting itself.
そして私たちが今いるここは初期から数えて3代目の町にあたります。
Yeah, of course. You have to start off in Italy, and then you go to Germany, and then you have to go to Japan. You know, the 3 countries that start the Axis powers. That's all I'm gonna say. The third town was built here in Japan. Thus, the Watarase bloodline was placed in charge. All 3 towns were built with the same purpose.
はい。ただ、最初の町クローザはここよりもだいぶ小規模です。中心に学校が一つあるだけでした。その学校というのが初代サンタアレイア学院ですね。全寮制で生徒たちは皆クローザの町に住むこととなります。
Despite it happening so long ago, the general plan was the same, making it easy to follow. St. Aria Academy acted as the pillar of the town, with the students living around it.
そして当時より町には一種の規定がありました。それは何でしょう？
A stipulation?
グランドツアーの計画者たちが町を造営する上で取り組んだ教育の一環です。
An emphasis on teaching classical art, inviting the best teachers.
いえいえ、それも当然ですが、周さんのような外の人間にはずっと違和感があったはずですよ。
I immediately realized what she's getting at. A writing system.
正解です。クローザでは数字を含む一切の記号の使用が禁じられました。
Yes, okay, now we're finally getting into the why these students can't read. Kato barely awake but happy, quiet, and remember Freedom Day. Don't forget to some proper rest afterwards. Is this... Hang on. You cannot tell me today is Freedom Day. Bro, do you see the date? Actually, in America it's still only in America it's still only 9/10, right guys? It's still only 9. Happy I'm not gonna say it. Happy Freedom Day, guys! It's next day in Latvia. God damn it! This is the cancelled. I'm canceling myself. That rule was maintained throughout the entire project for each subsequent town.
ルネサンス期への回帰と先ほど言ったと思いますが。
It's not like people couldn't read during the Renaissance. You know what? Fair, I guess.
それに照らすと、15、6世紀のイタリアにおける識字率はさほど高くありませんでした。日本と大きく異なるところですね。
I understand why I usually say food days. True. The literacy rate in Europe during the Middle Ages was so low that priests often had to read the Bible aloud to their congregates. Yeah, that's why. Because during the Renaissance period, the only people who knew how to read are the rich and the high in power, like priests. Sure, I've heard that somewhere before, but still.
ですがそれでも、芸術という分野においては偉大な作品が多く生まれています。無論、新曲のような文学全般は別ですが、むしろ文字がないことによって生まれたと言えるものさえ。
Just Lily smiles at me almost alluringly, as if waiting for me to say something. You mean attributes?
その通りです。文字が読めない人にもどんな絵かわかるためのお約束。それがアトリビュートと呼ばれるものでした。
Shit. Hang on, I'm not risking it. Alright, I ain't risking it. I saw some... I saw some things there that looked like nipples, alright? I'm not gonna risk it. Even if they weren't. To see a snake and associate it with Satan, or a rose with Maria, or an arrow with Cupid. It's the art of conveying the message without needing to read the title or of the piece.
それだけではなく、記号というものは便利すぎると3人は考えたようですよ。互換性の高すぎるメッセージングは美術の表現性を損なうと危惧されました。
Risk it for the biscuit. I mean, look. It's fine, right? But I don't know if YouTube's okay with it. And I'm only doing it because I'm just doing it to do so that I do less work.
天才的な描写力を持ったサバンの少年がアルファベットを覚えた途端絵が描けなくなったなんて逸話もありましたね。
YouTube is hell. Yeah. why bother painting the concept of love when you can write the word? However, if you don't know how to write, then expressing your love grows far more difficult.
文字に比べれば言葉による会話の方がまだ感情という揺れが入る分不可分だと、そんな考えのもと町からは文字が排除されました。
Without symbols, mediation is left to disorderly and subjective forms of expression, such as art and pantomime. Honestly, it all sounds pretty inconvenient, despite the clear advantage in forcing the development of art. After all, the hope is for great artists to be born from this environment. The Grand Tour project is nothing but clear in its goals. Thus, from someone like Rinka, if a resident here stole classified documents, they wouldn't be able to decipher them, rendering them meaningless.
そして試みはうまくいったからこそ、この性質は当代に至るまで引き継がれます。
One of which is this town.
とはいえ本来、文明の発展に文字は不可欠。それを無理やり取っ払っているから、必ずどこかで齟齬が生じます。身の回りで使う道具、例えば時計やカレンダーなどといった日用品一つとっても、普通は数字が刻まれています。
Calendars especially. Clocks? I've already said you could get away with it if you just read the hands on the clock, right? Calendars? Not so much.
そのため、街の環境づくりに専用のガジェットは必須でした。例えば、鳩時計は音声で日付を読み上げ、カレンダーの役割を果たしています。一種のユニバーサルデザインとでも言いましょうか。とりわけこの街では多くの電子機器が導入されています。
Yeah, but the electronic devices that aren't in this town are like phones and other communication devices. But guess what? They still have radio. Somehow.
パスコードがなくとも鍵を解除できる生体認証。ボタンとつまみだけで動作する簡易ラジオ。あとは、そうそう、キリエさんの使っているフィルムカメラなど、どれも色やボタンの形で機能が識別できるようになっています。
See, because like here's the thing, they don't have a use. The We're censoring everything. Yeah, they don't have a use for the radio unless you are able to transmit something through it, right? So the only reason you have a radio in this instance is for Leela, right? Because listen, I don't see any fucking radio stations in this town.
皆さんの使っている身の回りの道具は、これまでに続いてきた先代の町が生み出したものと言えるかもしれませんね。ユネさん、何か？
Do those towns still exist?
いいえ、ありません。
She answers definitively. Even I know the answer to those questions. The only town in existence right now is this one.
最初の町、クローザは造営からほどなくして、1943年に亡くなり、2つ目のフォークトラントも81年にはその役目を終えています。
I mean, Crosser makes sense. 1943. That's around during World War II, right? Buckland, around 1981. What happened during 1981? Because, okay, the only significant event I can think of around that time would be during the Cold War with the destruction of the Berlin Wall, right? But then the Berlin Wall was destroyed when? 1989, right? So it was like a solid 8 years after the ending of Vokland's. I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly. If only Starving was here. Maybe the principal as well to talk to him. Yeah. I mean, the only reason a radio is the only use for the radio is for the outside world, certain people in the outside world to communicate to inside the Aurora or something. Each time the town was reborn as a new region, as part of a new community, this town comprises the three generations, the third generation.
では、どうして亡くなったのか、ですよね。その答えが、シュウさんの言ったあの絵なのです。
What painting? Unsure what she's talking about, Sister Lily chuckles in response. Fucking Lost Paradise or whatever.
私が最初に美術回廊を案内したとき、聞いたじゃありませんか。気になる作品はないか、と。
Oh.
時にシュウさんは、好きなアーティストや作風、時代はありますか？
well...
興味のある作品でも大丈夫ですよ。何か好きな絵画ですとか。
Cross's Lost Paradise.
はい。クローザの失楽園とは、最初に作られた街、クローザの終わりを描いた作品なのです。
I hadn't been able to remember the painting, and yet I'd spoken its name. Now I understand why. The reason the town vanished is because...
初代の町、クローザは、不審火によりわずか一晩で、面積のほとんどが焼け野原と化しました。
It was Guido's granddad that burnt the town. Imagine.
またクローザは森に囲まれたコムーネでしたので、住んでいた人々も大半が逃げ出せず死亡しました。恋か偶然か、何にせよ動き始めたばかりのグランドツアー計画はわずか2年で頓挫を迎えるかのように見えました。
However, Sister Lily continued. The much hoped for outcome of the experiment was born from the ashes of Cross's demise.
失楽園。その作品が発見されたのは、時の戦争が終結してからでした。
With the dissolution of the Berlin Pact after World War II, the Axis powers became meaningless in the new world. They actually are talking about World War II. Do not say his name. Only I get to. But that's because it was all for jokes, alright? The Grand Tour project, which had been viewed as an abject failure, was given a second chance.
その作品はクローザ最後の日を描いたもの。一つの町が炎に飲まれ消失していく様を痛ましいほどの生々しさでありありと描いた油彩画でした。退治したこちらが熱を帯びてくるような炎、腐臭さえ漂ってきそうな死体、胸をかきむしりたくなるような人々の表情。実物をお見せできないのが残念ですが、軽々しく見せられる作品でもないのですよ。事実、当時は多くの精神疾患者を招いたと言います。
Listen, as someone who has frequented Reddit 50/50, nothing will faze me. According to Sister Lily, the painting is powerful enough to affect those who look at it. It reminds me of a story I heard from a silent film Guido made. Great artists of genius ability house demons inside themselves, and the work created from those demonic abilities move people. That painting was the result of the Grand Tour project?
本来、クローザで学生たちが生み出した作品は、すべて焼き払われたものと見られていましたからね。その成果物は、クローザの失楽園と名付けられ、 46年に世界へ発表されます。
Reddit 50/50 is yikes. Yeah, it's crazy that there was like this era in YouTube where like every YouTuber would do Reddit 50/50s. They all have the same reactions, right? Because they aren't desensitized to the murder. They aren't desensitized to death, unlike me, right?
作者が不明というのも当然ですね。クローザで灰になった誰のものかもわからないのですから。
You're saying that the painting was the only thing that survived the fire?
はい。空になった水亀の中にキャンバスが残されていて、そのために発見も遅れたようですね。また、損傷も大きかったですが、現在は修復されています。そんな失楽園は強い文化的価値を認められ、多くミュージアムが恒久的に保存すべきだと訴えました。これはつまり、数々の名画同様、人類の共有財産として公開しましょうということですね。
It's the highest of honors given to any work of art. The way Sister Lily talks about it, Cross's Lost Paradise should by all rights be hung in the Louvre of I don't know how to pronounce that one. Or Uffizi Gallery. I don't know.
ただ、その上で弊害が出ると予想されたのも事実。
Harmful effect.
その強すぎる影響力です。クローザの失楽園は審美眼を持つ人ほど見入られ、狂気に惑わされてしまう。いわば魔性の絵画でした。
Oh, and that's why Guido's crazy.
結果、作品の一般公開は見送られるべきとの考えが主流となります。すると所有者であるベルトーニは、失楽園を一般のコレクターに売却しました。
It was auctioned off.
物好きと言うべきかはわかりませんが、曰く付きの極めて価値の高い作品ですからね。90億円ほどで取引されたと聞いています。
Huh? In 1946? Bro. What? Okay, I need to see the inflation rate on that. 78 million in 1946. Worth today. Oh, fucking hell. Wait. What was it again? 78.2 million. 78 million. You know what? I'm just going with 78 million. Calculate. $1.2 billion. Excuse me? For a fucking Reddit 50/50 picture? It's a cursed painting that touches the very soul of anyone who sees it. Any who see it. Indeed, I can see how certain individuals might be fascinated by the very idea. $78.2 million seems excessively high for a single painting. Did anyone have that much? Did anyone have that amount of money back then? $78.2 million is an unthinkably large amount of money.
どれだけ負の影響をもたらそうと、作品自体の価値は変わりません。クローザの失楽園は紛れもない名画で、
I'm sure it is.
そして何より、サンタアレイア学院に通っていた生徒の確かな芸術性を裏付けるものでした。
Cross's lasting legacy, the only remaining artifact from the first town, which was raised in a single night. And there's no denying the masterpiece wouldn't exist if not for the Grand Tour project.
これを受けて、各国に散っていたベルトーニ、ハート、渡良瀬の3名は再び集結します。失楽園売却の資金を元手に、彼らはグランドツアー計画の再始動に乗り出したのです。
Yeah, Who wouldn't if they could get $78 million from a single painting? If one town fails, then we can build a new one. Yeah, they were probably thinking, hey, if we can get $78.2 million from this small town that was that was burnt down a single night, imagine how much money we could get from a painting that we could that was from a painting that was how do I say this? What's the word? Sourced from a town that was burnt down that was slightly bigger than Cross's. Well, that didn't happen though, unfortunately. But that's what Japan is for. I'm sure they assumed they had more than enough money and power to do so. Money, yes. Power, also yes.
ただ、いくら高額とはいえ、売却資金だけで町の運営はできませんから、3人の力をもってしても、お金の工面は難しかったようですが、ともかく。
I would imagine so.
次はウォルフガング・ハートの故郷、ドイツにおいて、1966年、新たな町が策定されました。
That was Vogtland, the second town. Vogtland. If only Starving was here, he would be able to help me pronounce it. I'm assuming it also contained St. Aria Academy?
はい、ありました。2代目のアレイアですね。そして第2の町は、クローザよりも規模が大きく、教職員も大量に採用されました。
Money creates power? Yeah.
また、その費用を賄うべく、新たな収益事業が考案されます。なんだかわかりますか？
Weapons manufacturing. A profitable enterprise.
はい。今風に言えば、マネタイズというやつでしょうか。町そのものから利益を上げる仕組みです。私たちのいるこの3代目、町においても、同様のシステムが構築されています。
Oh. They're talking about selling art, right? There's that. There's also the drug manufacturing, right? It's certainly a question that's crossed my mind before. After all, I didn't pay a single cent towards tuition, and all my meals were free. With that said, the town doesn't seem to have an industry of its own. How can they make the academy profitable enough to sustain itself and the town?
ヒントとしては、クローザの事例ですね。
Oh. I suddenly realize what the answer is. The lack of proper industry isn't a problem if you view the town from a different angle. You sell artwork.
正解です。教育に費用がかかるのなら、その成果物を売ればいい。
Once it's sold, it's gone. Although, that doesn't seem to be an issue. Because the point of the Grand Tour isn't the desire for beautiful works of art.
町の存在は一般には知られていませんが、神塚たちの間では確かな話題となっています。買い手には今も困っていません。
You know what? That's the most unrealistic part of the game. The general public is unaware of the town's existence. How does no one see the big fuck-off ice wall outside of the town? Alright?
琴葉さんや義堂さんのような優れた芸術家が生み出す作品こそ、この町が輩出する特産品というわけです。
Even someone like me, far from an art expert, can tell their skill is on another level. How is it hidden this well? Exactly. The seemingly never-ending supply of art coming from a town whose very existence is fairly ominous and wrapped in superstitious lore only adds to their intrinsic value. Probably, your singing isn't a tangible object that can be easily sold. It's much easier to barter with things like paintings or sculptures.
その通りです。イースター展、ジュノー展、ミネルヴァ展、そしてこのアレイア祭。 それらにおける入賞作品は保管と称して密かに外へ横流ししています。
Her tone as she explains this to us is relatively detached.
無断で売却して申し訳ないとは思っています。しかし事情をお話しするわけにもいかず、それに信頼できる筋にしか流しておりませんので。
Yeah, okay, but the next question is, how much are you selling these pieces of art, right? Our plane and helicopter not found this place, right? Like, even if this place was built on, like, an island somewhere, right? Would no one have noticed? Would no one with, like, a helicopter or, like, a plane or, like, a boat not have stumbled across this town? In how long? It was built after the first town, the second town, which was in 81. So how has no one been able to find this place in like 40 years? Right? That's around the timeline. 30 to 40 years.
学費と、そして生活費のようなものだと思っていただければ。
Tuition is the money students pay in order to attend school. It's the cost of expenses. The very concept of tuition doesn't exist in this town. That's why they allowed me to attend the academy free of charge. Although based on Sister Lily's logic, I really am a good-for-nothing parasite.
話を少し戻しますと、2つ目の町フォークトラントは、シュウさんもユネさんも見たことのある場所なんです。
Not only have I seen it, but Yune too?
ええ。時をめぐるアンナ。ご存知ですよね。
Nah. Ain't no way. You know what? It makes sense. The fucking movies were cast. The movies that they watched had white people cast. So obviously. Oh.
なんか森のシーンばっかだな。
セットじゃないよね。
It looks like it was filmed on location.
喋ってる口とセリフが一致してないような。
Yeah, it was filmed in Germany. I think this is a dubbed version. They're actually speaking a different language.
外国語って、もしかしてもうない国の言葉のこと？
I'll explain it to you later. I'll never forget that. The foreign film I watched every month across every timeline. Everyone was engrossed by the story, but I couldn't help but be bothered by the unfamiliar landscapes and people.
あれが第二の町フォークトラントで撮られた映画、その吹き替え版です。
That explains the foreign cast. I'm struck by an epiphany as all the pieces finally fall into place. Yeah, they dubbed it. This is an amazing revelation to me, although Yune still seems unsure. So there's no way the movie was actually shot 100 years ago, right?
はい。オリジナル版、時をめぐるアンナは当時の2代目の聖夜レイヤ学院に通う学生たちによって1980年に撮られたものです。フォークトラントが正式に解体されたのが81年なので、ちょうどその1年前になります。
Yeah, exactly. Just like that action movie, with all those fight scenes in the woods.
森のシーンが多かったとキリエさんが言っていたかと思います。あれが第二の町の特徴ですね。
By feature, do you mean...
2代目の町、フォークトラントでは、 クローザの時にうまくいった事例を生かし、フォレストという人工的な森林を作りました。
So you're saying none of those trees are real?
はい、偽物です。それが町の外周をまるっと囲っています。
Okay, at least a forest can be more hidden. A giant ice wall? Not so much. An impenetrable man-made forest. It reminds me of a certain dominating presence here in this town. Like the Aurora.
オーロラの前身といったところでしょうか。フォレストはクローザがたまたま森林に囲まれたコムーネだったことに倣っています。そしてそれはオーロラと同様に社会と町を隔絶する役割を果たしました。これがうまくいったからこそ今日のオーロラがあるわけですね。
Of course, the Aurora wasn't something born overnight. That would hide it way easier and make sense. Yeah. So the next question is, how are they able to build the Aurora, right? Knowing the stages of evolution that went into this current iteration of the town, it's clear the Aurora was built with a specific goal in mind.
そんなフォークトランドはドイツ政府によって解体を余儀なくされます。いろいろとアクシデントもあったようですが。
What do you mean by that?
とはいえ、町の運営は10年以上も存続し、世に出た多くの作品はその費用を補ってあまりあるものでした。さて、第1の町も第2の町も潰れました。ですが計画はここで終わりなのでしょうか。
A project aimed at cultivating artistic talent through forced isolation. Our existence here is proof enough of the project's continued existence.
立派な成功を収めたグランドツアーをそこで終わらせるという判断はありえませんでした。彼らはすぐに第3の町の選定に取り掛かります。
3 hours, 37 minutes. All right. Happy 9/11 day. I mean.
が、そこには問題が生じていました。
What was that?
単純な話ですね。発起人であるベルトーニ、ハート、渡良瀬の3名の高齢化です。フォークトラントが潰れた1981年の段階で3人とも弱い80を超えていましたから、次の町が建てられるまで生きていられる望みが薄かったのです。
Me saying that very much dates this episode, right? Because sure, for the VOD watchers, right, this is coming out tomorrow, right? But if you're watching on the main channel, this is coming out like months later. The project had originated before the Second World War. They're definitely no longer alive today.
とはいえ、です。中んづく渡良瀬は日本において町が造営されなかったことを心残りとしていました。本人はこれまでの町運営に強く尽力していただけになおさらです。
This was timed well. Was it? Neat. I should have played. You know what? I should have played my Tetsu. At least that game has a plane in it. Never mind.
そこで彼は第3の町の策定とともに後継者を定めることに決めました。
Which was Soichi Watarase.
はい。そのために渡良瀬宗一氏は聖アレア学院3代目学長という立場を与えられたのです。
The same Watarase that Yune had met, the principal who spoke with both Kirie and Kotaha. Following in the footsteps of his grandfather, who advocated for the construction of the town.
時代が時代ということもあり、場所の選定にはそれまで以上に気を使われたようですが、結果としてここ北海道は足寄町に絞られました。
Talking about destruction of the day with destruction. God damn it.
候補地としては日本画も学べる京都などもあったようですよ。どうしても見つかりやすいのでダメだったみたいですが。
She says before chuckling to herself. As she said herself, this is her final lesson, so Sister Lily makes no attempt to talk around formally forbidden topics such as foreign countries and cities.
以上がこの町が作られるまでの歴史。何か質問はありますか？
She seems to want a more concise summary.
ユネさんにはわからない単語が多すぎましたね。では軽くおさらいしますと、町は古き良き芸術を教育するための学園都市です。そしてここアショロ町は全世界でいうと3代目にあたります。文字がないこともオーロラがあることも全部ひっくるめて芸術のためと、まあそんなところです。
That this recap is for the people who didn't pay attention to the other 1.5 hours. That was maybe too brief. Though I doubt Yune, knowing nothing about the outside world, could grasp anything more complex. The Ainu, a group of formerly illiterate people who are said to have settled here, which is probably why I've never heard of the town of Ashiro before. Yune. After listening to the story, Yune tries to tell me something with a determined look in her eyes. I open my mouth in an effort to explain. Sister Lily, Yune...
大丈夫です、シュウさん。今のユネさんの言いたいことは私にもなんとなく伝わりました。
This is people who zoned out.
どうしてこの町は滅ぶのかですよね。
Nod. Yune nods slowly. The apocalypse, the aesthetics of destruction. Despite knowing everything I do, I'm still missing one crucial piece.
結論から述べましょうか。今日起こるはずだったアポカリプスは3年ペガサス組柊義堂様による作品です。
Guido? I'd be lying if I said hearing his name was that surprising. Still, hearing it from her lips, thus affirming his part in this, was as shocking as a direct blow to the back of my head. You mean the blow to the back of your head that Guido gave you in January? I don't even know if Guido was the one who hit him in the back of his head.
101年前にアポカリプスと呼ばれる終末が起こり、この町を除く外の世界は滅亡した。と、皆さんには教えていますね。が、言うまでもなくそれは物理的、環境的な世界の終わりなどではありません。
You've probably done that. Yeah. It was either him or the headmaster, and anyone else I can't think of.
先に称した通り、芸術という分野が解き放たれた年代というだけでしかないのです。ユネさんにとっては衝撃かもしれませんが、オーロラの外にも人々は生活しています。
I knew that much already. The town's ideology was based on the assumption that the outside world had ended. And every detail of this town's very existence was created to help back up that premise.
また、この世界の終わりという概念は、第二の町、フォークトランドの時点ですでに導入されています。日本と違いキリスト教圏でしたので、ある程度その刷り込みもやりやすかったのでしょう。
So you're saying the town must be destroyed because it happened once before? Why now, though?
あまり慌てないでください、シュウさん。ちゃんと包み隠さずお話ししますから。
Okay. I'm frustrated and anxious. I'm about to find out certain truths I could never have learned in the outside world.
つまるところアポカリプスというのはただの伝説、文字通りの黙示録に過ぎませんでしたが、そこに意味を見出そうとする者も現れました。
They took it too literally.
クローザの事例を思い出してください。かの町は火災によりなくなりましたが、後世に残る作品を生み出しました。
That piece being Cross's Lost Paradise. A cursed painting that shows people running for their lives while the town burns, driving mad anyone who sees it.
町、閉ざされた単一の世界の終わり。生と死に振り分けられる人々。どこかで聞いたような構図ではありませんか？聖書の一節をモチーフに書くのが宗教画だという基本的なお話はとうにしていたかと思います。クローザの失楽園は単なる事故、偶然でしたが、くしくもそれは先例として強烈な印象も残しました。あれを超える作品を生み出そうというのが街そのものを破壊する目的です。そして、その狙いは第二の町、フォークトラントでも行われようとしていました。
Falkland was built roughly 40 years ago, right?
はい。つまりはそこでも、今日と同じような背景があったのですよ。町そのものを破壊し、作品にしてしまおうという。ですがそこでは、様々な悪条件が偶然にも重なり、失敗を余儀なくされます。それはもう不運だったと、管理者であるハートは嘆いたと言います。
Wait. Does hang on? I might be. This is what happened in Vukland is what is happening now in the Aurora, right? Fuck. I might be overthinking this, but right? God damn it.
その結果、フォークトラントは無事に解体されました。町そのものはなくなりましたが、犠牲者などもなく。
Right, like, okay, Crosser was destroyed. Okay, that was obvious. Vokland was tried to get destroyed. Someone tried to destroy Vokland and failed. Right? And now the town in Ashuro has also the destruction of the town in Ashuro has also failed. Planned to do this but failed. Yeah. So the same thing happened in this town. Right? They chalk it up to bad luck, right? But can't you say the same thing about this? You know? The fantastical painting, Cross's Lost Paradise, was born from Cross's death. The same result was attempted artificially through Vokland, and fortunately failed. Which means...
そして、私たちのいるこの町、アシュロ町における担い手が義堂さんであったということです。
It is a planned killing. Yeah. They want to recreate Cross's Lost Paradise, but they failed in Vokland, and now they're gonna fail again in Ashuro. Disciple. The word itself brings to mind images of a follower carrying a specific message. Did Guido ever see Cross's Lost Paradise?
はい。彼はその影響で、破壊の美学と呼ばれる盗作的な価値観へ傾倒することになります。
Yeah, and he thinks Kyrie thinks the same way he does. The disconnected way Sister Lily talks about it makes it seem like an issue that doesn't affect her. It doesn't, because she'll escape the explosions, and it's also clear that the facts she's presenting to us are only the beginning. He brainwashed. Essentially, he was brainwashed by the painting. Gido is the one behind the apocalypse. With his name as the answer to the equation I've been struggling with this entire time, past conversations suddenly spring to mind.
待て。
God
もう一度。
damn it. The boss calling me.
後で俺が背中を流してやる。並べよう。
Huh? He really does hate losing.
いや、なんだか頬張っているシュウが可愛くてな。ほら、マスタードついてるぞ。
This was like, this is the gayest line in this game. Oops, sorry.
シュウには俺たちにない視界がある。俺たちが当たり前のように見ている光景もシュウの目にはどこかずれたように映るのかもしれない。シュウの見る街を俺は見たいんだ。
信じられませんか？
This is fucking weird with all context we have now. Bro, like I said, the way this game recontextualizes every fucking line of dialogue for these characters is amazing. Like, it more so with Sakuya, which we still haven't brought up yet, right? But now with Gido, especially during his route. God damn it. I'm just surprised. Was it all a lie? He was always there for us, always so supportive and helpful.
彼は彼なりにシュウさんたちのことをついていたと思いますよ。
Yeah, that's why he wanted to immortalize all of you in a painting. With your own blood, but, you know, in a painting. You knew all of this from the very beginning, didn't you?
そうですね。私たちが彼に口を挟まなかったのは、教師というのがそういう立場だから、ということで納得してください。
Well, of course you're not going to interfere. It doesn't affect you. She can say he loved us, but it's hard for me to believe it. Because my thoughts are dominated by the knowledge that he tried to kill us. The way the facts line up with everything I learned thus far only makes it harder for me to decide what I should do. No, Gido was an artist first and foremost. His art will always take precedence, that's all. The idea of everyone's primary responsibility being to be an artist is drilled into their heads. Someone who devotes himself entirely to his craft is the ideal student. But
ええ、わかっています。アポカリプスの着想は決して彼自身から生まれたものではない。
that's right. No matter how many shocking works of art you've seen or been inspired by, the idea of destroying one's own world would never naturally occur to someone living within it. She speaks up, trying to calm my rising anger.
失楽園を見たというよりも見せられたと言うべきかもしれませんね。
Yune watches Sister Lily with a look of anxious incomprehension on her face. I decide to make sure she understands everything. I want to know too. Tell us, who's the person responsible for filling Gido's head with this ideology? Right after I fix the audio. He was brought to it by the principal. Right. So here are two scenarios that happened, right? One is that everyone was shown the painting, right? But only certain people are quote-unquote brainwashed by it, right? In like Gido. And then the second thing is that Gido was the only person who saw the painting, and everyone else only saw a similar, a basic recreation of it, right? Because none of them picked the third picture, right? Maybe if you picked the third picture, you would see the actual painting or something like that, right? One or the other.
はい、わかりました。
I wouldn't be exaggerating if I said this was the biggest question mark I held about this town. Maybe it's less of a question now, but I still need confirmation. A mixture of wanting to be right while desperately wanting to be wrong. The mystery of what events led to this very day. It's the most important lesson I could hope to learn here.
単刀直入に申し上げます。
Yes, I would appreciate that.
本来、アポカリプスによる破滅が訪れるのは、学長である渡瀬宗一の意志によるものです。失楽園、そして破壊の美学、それらの価値観を義堂さんに吹き込んだのは、ユネさんも2年前にお会いした渡瀬氏です。
You guys have a principal here?
学長さんって私1回しか会ったことないや。
People who are obsessed with art to the point where morals get thrown out. Yeah. It is very morbid, but I can sympathize. What? So, what exactly is he like? I'm curious now.
別に普通の親父だったけどな。
Yeah, so like in his 40s and 50s. I was right. 30s, 40s. That's middle-aged.
そうだね。優しそうなおじさんって感じ。
I doubt I'd recognize him if I saw him.
確かにね。学長は渡瀬という方なんだけど。
Yeah, and as soon as he heard that name, he had a fucking fit. Ugh.
シュウ先輩、どうかしましたか？
Rase. Rase. My head. And then he died.
シュウ？シュウ！
2 years ago, Watarase, the principal of St. Aria, Yune, Kyrie, and the others met with. I guess the reason I originally fainted is because I remembered that name all too well. The whole reason I came to this town was to stop him from bringing about the apocalypse. I know that much. I remember all of it. So the problem is, where do I go from here? Why? Yune seems to ask Sister Lily.
この町ができてもう20年以上。これまでの町の中では最も長い歴史となりました。学長、渡瀬宗一氏はまだお若い。先代、渡瀬紀章氏の意志を継ぎ、これからも町の運営を続けていくはずでした。
But the truth is, he hasn't. And I already knew the reason why, but I couldn't bring myself to say it out loud.
渡瀬学長は病に侵されていました。予後は極めて悪く、余命幾ばくもないという状態にさらされます。
Skill issue.
莫大な治療費さえ捻出できれば、なんとか延命が図れるか、といった具合だったそうです。
I can sense Yune's expression clouding over. To Yune, Watarase is far from a stranger. It's only natural for her to feel sad to hear someone she knows is going to die.
自身の状態を知ると、学長はこの町の運営にかかるコネクションに見切りをつけ始めました。町の解体へ向けて動き出したと言っても良いです。ハートやベルトーニの血筋はすでに町からは一歩引いておりましたし、ご子息もまだ若い。後釜は見つかりませんでした。そうですね。この町はすでに解体される方向で話が進んでいます。 来年や再来年の話ではありませんが、ただ学長と同じようにこの第三の町にも寿命が来たということなのでしょう。
Well, yeah, out of the 3 towns, this is the one that has survived the longest, I guess. Yune, the end of the town, is equivalent to the end of her world. Even knowing that life exists outside the town, that doesn't lessen the shock.
しかしそんな渡良瀬学長に一つのアイディアがよぎります。それがかつてフォークトランドで失敗したというアポカリプスです。その目的は身も蓋もなく言ってしまえば金、資金です。クローザの失楽園を超える時価総額を生み出せれば自身の治療費に充てられる。
What if you wanted to destroy the town, but God said you are not the main character? He would destroy an entire town to do so?
おそらくは、ただ断定はできません。渡良瀬氏もまた失楽園という作品に魅せられて町の運営を引き継いだのも事実。
The painting born from Crosser 80 years ago. It continues to mesmerize people across countries and eras, for better or worse.
2年前、渡良瀬氏がこの町に入り、生徒たちと一人一人面談をしたことがあります。
He's planning to kill people to save himself. Yeah, right? It's not like it's an incurable disease and he's only doing this as a last hurrah or whatever, right? He's doing this to recreate Cross's Lost Paradise so that he could get money for his treatment. The guy Yune says she met, if I remember correctly, her impression of him had been of a friendly uncle.
その時はたまたま症状が寛解しており、渡良瀬氏が積極的に動ける希少な機会でした。それを生徒たちの面談に当てたのです。そしてそれがアポカリプスの実行者を見定める選定作業でした。生徒の特性を見極めてそそのかすための。
Yeah. So, imagine how Guido... Wrong. Imagine how Guido would react if he found out that the only reason he's doing this is so that the principal could get more money so that the principal could save his own life, right? Imagine how fucked up it is. This is all just to make money. There is no greater purpose to it. That was the third picture. The serpent tempted by a student, ignorant to the outside world and the ravages of war, with an apple of knowledge. Acting as if he himself was just as ignorant.
面談が終わる頃に3枚の絵を見せられて、どれが一番美しいと思うかって聞かれるんだ。正解はないんだけどね。
幼児、ちょっと思い出して書いてくれよ。週にも見せようぜ。
いいぜ。でも2年前のことだからな。うろ覚えだぞ。こんな感じだったかな。週ならどれ選ぶ？
上手上手。こんなんだった。
ご存知でしたか？ユネさんは覚えがあると思いますが、渡良瀬氏は各生徒に3枚の絵を見せ、その適性を測りました。失楽園という作品、そして破壊の美学という価値観。それはこの町に本来あるはずのないものですから、それを受け入れられるかどうか。そして、だからこそその出会いは衝撃です。元より適性があると判断された生徒にとって、斬新すぎるその価値観は、甘美なインスピレーションへと転化されます。
The devil whispering in your ear holds nothing to the brilliant inspiration from a muse. But it is also human nature to be most attracted to that which is most forbidden. incest. I mean,
渡良瀬氏も全てを直接誘導したわけではありません。ただ、結果として義堂さんはこの町の終末を担う存在となりました。
in order to create a sequel to Cross's Lost Paradise?
はい。クローズの時と同じ状況。むしろそれよりも大きく近代的な町ならば、あれをも超える作品が生まれるかもしれない、と渡良瀬氏は考えました。
You're not wrong with incest.
それに、手間や費用をかけずこの町を処理することもできる、という狙いも語っていたかと。
I clench my fist angrily. Disposal, as if the town where Yune, her friends, and all the other inhabitants live was nothing more than an oversized piece of trash. I put a question mark there, but it didn't need to be. Even the very lives of the people here are deemed worthless. It's all too easy for me to see the glint of evil in his eye, a faint smile playing over his lips.
事故ということで処理も可能で、またこれまでに輸出してきた作品について所有権を主張されることもなくなる。
More like the only people alive were complicit in the destruction of the town.
実行犯である人物までいなくなってしまえば、殺人教唆に問われるリスクもゼロになります。もともとクローズドな町のことならなおさらです。
Sister Lily goes on to explain how the plan was to make sure Guido vanished as well. That would make things easier. Wataraze might be suffering from a fatal illness, but the way he views Guido's disappearance as purely beneficial shows the extent of his ego.
その上で、破壊の美学の担い手は柊義堂という当時1年生の彼に白羽の矢が立ちました。候補者は他にももう一人いたようですが、彼は一人でいくつもの好ましい条件を揃えていました。
Right, and the other candidate was Sakuya, or was it Kyrie? As a first-year student, he was already demonstrating immense talent. Despite my lack of knowledge about the art world, I've lived here long enough to understand how valuable inspiration is. Oh, hang on. Alright, I'm back. That's the thing, right? It could be Sakuya. I mean, it could be Kyrie, who has similar views to Guido. Or it could be Sakuya, because she works with him. To an extent. We still don't know the extent in which Sakuya helps Guido. Or I guess someone. The headmaster? No. By the way, Yune, when you had your interview... Shake. Wait, hang on. Right. He didn't ask me anything about that, she says.
ユネさんの場合は、お話しした上で対象外ということになったのでしょうね。ほとんどの生徒には同じ対応だったはずです。
Sakuya is obsessed with MC in a weird way. Right. See, the more Sister Lily talks, the less I'm convinced that Sakuya and the principal were the two who ate the apple together, right? But then who would have been the other person? Because, you know, like I said, was it Rinka? Fucking, because it lines up, right? But no, it doesn't. God damn it. I one of the few interviews you want to fail. Meanwhile, after Guido met Watarase for the first time and was shown Cross's Lost Paradise, he became obsessed with the aesthetics of destruction.
そして義堂さんが渡良瀬氏の意に沿ったということは我々もすぐに知らされることとなりました。私は立場上学長の方針に従うしかないものでしたが、私含む現場の人間の多くも最初は抗議しました。たとえ直接手を下さずとも極めて人倫にもとる非道な行為。それに失楽園は意図して制作されたものではない。
Oh, so at least some of the teachers had a shred of morality inside them.
ですがそれでも私たちの意見など到底聞き入れないほど渡良瀬氏は焦っていました。
There was no other art piece that he could have sold. Could have sold.
売ってはいました。ただそれでもほとんどは運営費に消えていきます。財産は常に困窮していました。その上、渡良瀬氏は町の作品を多く世に出しすぎ、単純に希少価値が薄まっていたという背景もあります。
Yeah, it's a simple supply and demand issue. He has so many people making art, but no one wants it. Not only did he sell student work with no regard to the students themselves, in his self-centered haste, he diminished their value. To say nothing of him slipping foreign philosophies into the town, like the serpent he is. Shoichi Watarase is clearly the root of all evil.
それは捉え方次第ですが、少し怖いですよ、シュウさん。最初から結論を決めつけていたようにも見えます。
And who wouldn't? But it's because of him that Yune and everyone else. I could feel Yune's worried gaze on me. However, there's a rage within me that's quickly growing out of control. After all, I've seen that look of hopeless despair on her face too many times to count.
シュウさんは私たちを憎むかもしれませんが、こうして何事も起こらなかったことに私は感謝していますよ。
No, you're lucky that nothing happened. I understand more than anyone the history of this town and the many twists and turns that brought us to this moment.
ですが、おそらくシュウさんが本当に聞きたいことはもう一点ありますよね。
Yeah, what is Sakuya's role in all of this? Speaks as if she knows exactly what I'm thinking. And she's right. There is one more thing that I really need to know for sure. Something I can only learn here, inside the town itself. That guy.
はい。
Shoichi Watarase. What happened to him after that? She closes her eyes as if conjuring up images of the past. Her voice is emotionless, as if assigning this week's homework. Don't tell me he fucking died, alright?
聖アレイヤ学院学長渡良瀬宗一氏は柊義堂氏に望みを託した後、流らえることができず亡くなりました。
The final nail in the coffin. Unintended. This motherfucker brainwashed Guido into destroying the town for no reason. The only reason he did it was to get money for his illness. Now it's worthless. Only then did she show the faintest hint of sadness. So this is for nothing even more. Yeah.
私から言えるのは以上です。ご理解はいただけましたでしょうか？
It was easy enough. Just long as shit.
渡良瀬修さん。
Fuck! There it is. As soon as Sister Lily brought up that Soichi Watarase had a son, I had a feeling, alright? All I'm gonna say, because what other connection would Shu have to the headmaster other than a blood relation? It was, I feel a strange sense of loss at the revelation. How else would he be allowed here or know where this is? Exactly, right? Like, sure, Rinka could have told him and shit like that, right? But like, how would he have been able to get the position of a teacher without that connection? Right? Especially since we know that he only came in here to stop the town. Right? It's not like he came in here as a teacher and he found out about what the other teachers were doing and he was trying to stop Guido and all of this, right? He came in with the preconceived notion of already wanting to stop the town, and the teachers let him stay. Exactly, right? I have to end. I can't continue, bro. I have to end it off for today. I know. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, a follow would be appreciated. If you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. I want to play more, but I also need to play through my Tetsu. And it would be nice to finish both games around the similar time. But at the same time, I feel like I'm going to end. I feel like the next time I stream Amazing Grace will be the ending of Amazing Grace, because that's when we'll find out more about Sakuya, right? Or something like that. So, yeah. Tomorrow, I will be streaming My Tetsu. Alright? But, until then, you're gonna have to wait a bit longer, to see the finale of this game. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.